Welcome in. Let me get a couple things set up here. I hope y'all are doing absolutely fantastic. JT Barker is in the building. What's up, JT? How you feeling today? Welcome in, y'all. Thank y'all so much for joining the stream. Beck with music. I appreciate you being here. Austin, thanks for tapping in. I appreciate y'all tapping in today. Baby Monster, welcome in. Thank you for the follow. Damien, Nikki, Dylan's in the building. Fahar, welcome in. I appreciate you being here. Sunny, I hope y'all are doing absolutely fantastic today. If y'all are coming in for the first time, what's up, Jenna? Welcome into the stream. If you're coming in for the first time, make sure y'all are tapping the screen for one, but also let me know where you're joining from. If you make music, let me know what kind of music you make. I would love to chat with y'all for a little bit and hopefully get into some music today. I'm going to be on for maybe an hour to 2 hours. Nothing too crazy. It's going to be, short and sweet today. Hopefully a little bit longer, maybe tomorrow or Sunday as well. Jenna, I hope you're doing well. Thank you for tapping in. You can barely hear me. Hold on. Can y'all hear me? Let me know. Hold on. I'll double check on my phone really quick. Let me see. Can y'all hear me okay? Anyone else? Let me know. Check 1, 2. If it's quiet, let me know. It seems loud over here. Hold on. Hold on. I don't know why it's doing that. So give me just one moment. Okay, let me know if is that better? Let me know if that's better. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Miss Kinder, thank you so much for the follow, and also thank you so much for tapping in. No, it's super quiet. Hold on. Acoustic Hideout, thank you for the follow. I don't know why it's so quiet. Give me a moment. Check. Check. That's better. What's up, Big Country? Welcome in. Sorry, y'all. I immediately ran into some audio issues. Now it's better. Welcome from Indonesia. I appreciate you tapping in. What's up, Miranda? Welcome in. Okay. Can y'all hear that? Okay? Hold on. Thank you for the heart me. I appreciate it. It sounds okay. Okay, it's better now. Like a normal volume. Sorry, y'all. I hopped on and immediately was encountered audio issues. Let me just double check. Let's go, Big Country. Does that sound okay? I'll check it on my phone too. Okay, that should be fine. It's a little better, but it's still weird. Yeah. I just don't want it to be like super quiet compared to like other lives and stuff. I don't know. How many times have I done these lives and then there's always some weird issue. I've done thousands of these, it feels like. Okay, let me see. It's good now? Okay, perfect. Okay, sorry for the delay. Sorry for the random audio issues. I hope it looks like it's good on the other platforms as well. So, Daniel, welcome in. I appreciate you tapping in. Is it Shinji? Thank you so much for hopping into the chat today. I appreciate that so much. DJ, is it Ollie or Oily? Either way, thank you for tapping in as well. For those of y'all just coming in, definitely make sure that y'all are engaging with the chat here. Also, let me know where you're joining from. If you make music, talk to me about the kind of music that you make, so on and so on. We'll get things flowing here in a second. Sinji, thank you for the follow. I really appreciate that as well. It is a Black Sea Boy. Am I saying that correctly? Thank you so much for tapping in as well. Yeah, it sounds fine to me. That's why I have to check. Welcome from Nigeria. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for tapping in today. Aki, thank you for joining as well. But yeah, let me know where y'all are joining from. Let me know if you make music, what kind of music you make. If y'all would like to submit, I'm not going to be on for very long today. If you would like to submit, I'll explain all that in like 2 minutes. Let me just get a couple things refreshed. And is it Angara? Am I saying that correctly? Thank you so much for joining. Yeah, I'll explain the submission process here in just a moment and what we do here at Track Talk. Give me just one moment. Okay, beautiful. Let's go. Let's go. Give me a moment. Let me refresh a couple things over here. I've got to get line updated over on our other platform. So give me just one moment for that as well. Outlaw music, baby. Let's go. Give me 2 seconds here, and then I'll explain the full stream, and we'll dive into some fabulous music. Let's see. One moment, y'all. Isla, welcome in. I appreciate you being here. Boom. Line is up, but it is not updated. So give me just 1 second to update it. It's always fun when you hop on to like immediate issues. Isn't that just a joy? Let's go. Boom. Beautiful. All right. Things should be updated. They should be ready to go. All right. Beautiful. Katie, welcome in. Welcome in. I appreciate you being here. Okay, for those of y'all coming in for the first time, welcome to Track Talk. Let me go ahead and explain the whole structure of this live stream and what we do here at Track Talk. If you have never been here before, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the family. I'm so glad that you're here and you just chose to tap into the stream or swipe through the stream today. I appreciate y'all joining. What we do here at Track Talk are 20 to 30 minute long form detailed consultations on the structure of your music. We are going to dive into your mix and master, production elements, sound design, lyric and song structure. We're going to get into the details and the nuances of what you are doing creatively and practically. Like I mentioned earlier, we are going to spend 20 to 30 minutes listening to your track, whether it's an instrumental as a producer or a musician or an artist or a vocalist for your full song. We're going to listen to it 2 to 3 different times in order to get into the details and the nuances of what you're doing. If you are interested in something like that, you can go to my profile, click on the link and read through it and follow the details there. If you're on the red app, go to the description for the live stream. If you're on the purple app, which is, again, those other platforms we're live on, you can also see the line, the order, and the minimum over there. You can type !submit right there in the chat as well. But these are not reviews. This is not a fast review. There is no trash or pass. There are no ratings. There are no polls. This is strictly a 20 to 30 minute long form analysis to really get into the mix and master, production elements, sound design choices, lyric and song structure, stuff like that. Isla, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. And for those of you who don't know, my name is Torvik. I'm a full-time audio engineer, producer, and session musician. That is what I do for a living. I've done that for the last 14 plus years. I'm also a classically trained pianist. So the structure of this live stream is pointed in that direction. It is to hopefully offer some tools and tips in order to help you polish your music and give you some structure that would be beneficial. But like I said, we take a while. Absolutely, that is all that we do. RVR is back in the building. RVR, you should be already on the board, ready to go. I'm actually going to push you to the top. Nicole, thank you for tapping in as well. Nicole, thank you for joining. I appreciate you joining the live stream again. Thank you for being here. Yeah, RVR got you back up on the board at the top right there. Bless you. Welcome in. Absolutely. I love all styles of music. In fact, this live stream has a ton of variety. There's no genre bias whatsoever. You can send in any genre, any style, and any level of preparedness. I would say that the vast majority of people send in unreleased stuff, works that are in progress, in order to get like a final ear or just a second set of ears on their music before they send it off to engineering, before they send it off to distribution, or or even start engineering themselves, whatever it may be. So that's the whole structure of this live stream. If y'all would like to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, and then just read through and follow all of the details right there. Profile, click on the link, and then read through and follow all of the details. Once again, these are 20 to 30 minute consultations. This is not, thank y'all for the follows. Blushy, the Black Sea, I think I see you up there. Thank you so much for the follows, y'all. I appreciate that a lot. But once again, these are not quick reviews. These are 20 to 30 minutes long. It's a long form breakdown. So if you want to get into the details, you want to get into the nuances, that's what we're doing here. Also, let me double check a few things here. Okay, RVR, I got you where you need to be. Let me just double check a few things before we dive completely in. RVR, I should already have your email from the other day, so you should be completely fine. And if y'all are on TikTok, we y'all are tapping the screen, share it live with a few people. Don't forget to send your heart me. It does help out the live stream quite a bit. RVR, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for the love. Is it doo-doo? with an EW. Sounds crazy, but I thank you for hopping into the stream. 99%. Thanks for joining the stream as well. Quick reminder that every single one of these live streams are recorded as VODs on the Red app. Wink, wink, if you know what I mean. Over on that platform, we're also live right now, but that's where you can see the line, the order, and the minimums. And also where we save all of these VODs. So if you want to see the live stream, if you want to go back and reference your notes, if you want to go back and make notes and just chill and be present on the live stream here, you can, because every single one of these live streams are saved to that platform under the playlist Track Talk Submission. Pook's Production, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that a lot. We're going to dive into some music here in like 90 seconds. So just give me one moment to kind of get things rolling here. Thank you, CXRL XZ_88. Thank you for the follow. 9 Lauren Still, thank you for the follow. Dan, thank you for the follow. Y'all are amazing. Thank you for the follows. I appreciate that a lot. Y'all are fabulous. I love you. All right, let me update a few things here and just make sure that we're ready to go. And then we'll dive into some music and we'll get some things flowing here. I believe RVR is going to kick us off. But once again, if you want to submit for a consultation, I'm going to take maybe like 4 to 6 songs. It is not going to be a long stream tonight. I'm going to take like 4 to 6 songs. And I've already got a couple already on the docket, ready to go. Scream Fan, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Let's see. Look at that over there. Okay. I've already got a couple in line. So once again, if you want to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, and then read through and follow all the details. If you want to see the line, check the Red or Purple app, the other platforms that we're live on. So you can see the details of what's going on there. I've been running into a bunch of technical difficulties today, so I hope that things are fine and I can do the work that I'm needing to work. Do the work I'm needing to do here. My brain's not working either, apparently. All right, let's see. NT, welcome in. All right, y'all, let's get into it. We got RVR in the building. Let's dive into some music. Scream Fan, I made a song called Only One on My Mind by Scream Guy. It's on YouTube. Thank you for tapping in. I appreciate you tapping in. Alex, welcome into the building as well. I appreciate you being here. Yeah, if y'all want to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, and read through the details there. I got a bunch of people in line already, so we're gonna go ahead and dive into some music. We're gonna get things flowing here. Let me see. Boom, got you right here. Let me download your file. I cleared some space on my computer today because I didn't realize that somehow like 3 terabytes got filled with client files and videos. So I was like, hold on, I got too much going on here. Anyways, let me get this downloaded. Let me know, is this your art? I don't want to, sometimes I try not to say people's govies, say their names that I see on here. But then I see the name on the file, which is something different. So let me know, RVR, that I see right here, which I think is pronounced River. I keep saying RVR, I think it's pronounced River. Though, let me know with like the artist name. Yeah, I know. I was like, I try not, because like I'm gonna. This is a different name. I'm gonna do a different name. But like a guy came in one time, and what the hard thing about on this end, what happens is like your TikTok username might be different than the email that you sent, which might be different than like the credit that you sent, which might be different than all these. I see like 4 different names sometimes when you'll send it. And so some people come. This guy came in, and I was like, I'm gonna make up a name. I was like, Gerald, is that you? Great name to make up right there. And he's like, dude, don't say my government name, man. I'm trying to be anonymous and mysterious. And I was like, fuck, sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do that. What's up, Joseph? Welcome in. All right. Okay. But this is Raina. This is River right here. They did give me permission to say their name. They're Govy. Let's say it's still low. What's going on with TikTok? It's just a TikTok thing. It's just the weird thing is that it's the same source. I'm going to check it out. Give me 1 second. I'm going to check it on the other platforms. Around. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that because but for whatever reason, it's a couple dB low. And as an audio engineer, this is going to drive me up a wall. Let me check it on a couple other, give me a second. Let me check it on another platform. I'm going to check it on the Purple app. What's up, Bleach Film? Welcome in. If you want to send in music, go to my profile, click on the link, and then just read through and follow the details. I'm double checking some level stuff here really quick, and then we are going to dive into some music. We got River up first. But let me just. We're going to dive into some music. We got River up first. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice and crispy. It's nice and crispy. Let's see what's going on over here. It's a little quiet. Yeah, at least the audio itself should be clear. Charlie, thanks for tapping in over on the red app, and Colby, thanks for tapping in on the purple app. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. Thank you for hopping in. I'm not I'm not gonna. Well, actually, Charlie, I don't have Alexa, so it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't make a difference. It wouldn't make a difference. That's funny, man. But I would love some. I would love some of what you're talking about there. Okay, 1 second, y'all. 1 second. Let me just test one thing here real quick, and then we'll get chill, man. Thank you for the follow. We'll get into some. We'll get into some music. I just gotta get this figured out. I'm not sure. Thank you for the follow, Bleach Film. I appreciate it. 1 second. 1 second. Let me just double check a few things just for my own sanity. On and off. Okay. Okay. One moment, y'all. I see some chats coming in while I'm trying to edit this. So give me 1 second. Check. How's that? That's it. It says volume might be too loud for users. Volume might be too loud for users, but that's what we got. Is it too loud? That's what we got. Is it too loud? It's okay. Is it coming in? I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try this. Check. Check. Okay. That's so weird because it's cranked in my ears. So yeah, it's weird because whatever is going to TikTok, which is the exact same. This is where it gets fun. Audio routing. Whatever gets what makes this fun is it's the same signal going to all three of the platforms that we're live on. So for whatever reason, thank you for the follow. I appreciate y'all. Whatever is happening over on TikTok is low. So let me double check one thing real quick, and then we'll just move on with it. If it's like annoying and it like isn't making sense, then just hop onto one of the other platforms. And then we're gonna get rolling. I've got the first song pulled up already, and I got another one just came in, so I'm gonna get you up there as well. Mamba, please do not spam the chat. But if you spam the chat, you could get muted by a mod. And I would hate for that to happen. So definitely, if anybody wants to submit their music, go to my profile, click on the link, read through it, and follow the details there, and we'll get you up on the board. Okay, hopefully this works, and hopefully because I just turned it up 500% on TikTok, that it doesn't blast our ears in 4 minutes with some weird edit. Okay, perfect, Nicole. I'm glad. Okay, let's get into some music, y'all. I'm gonna get some submissions up on the board. I've got my first one loaded up, ready to go here from River. I'm gonna get the one that just came in. Let's see. Hervé, I believe. I got you. I appreciate you so much. Let me get you up on the board as well. Okay, let's get into it. Isn't David like all effed up? I'm not like up to date. I will say I'm not like up to date. Is it Kwai? Isn't David kind of we don't like him anymore, right? I'm not up to date. What's the verdict? Y'all let me know in the chat. People are talking about David. I've heard a couple things that make me think maybe not. Perhaps not. He's in a pickle right now is one way to say it. Jesus. Okay, let me get some things in order here. And then River, Charlie, that's crazy. That's crazy. We've all had our moments, Charlie. All right, let's get this rolling, y'all. Let's get this rolling. I'm gonna update the line here in a second, and then we'll get it flowing. River, this song. Okay, so what's the song name? Drop the song name in the file name. Blue Jay, welcome in. I mean, that's hard. I mean, it's hard. That's hard. It's Fall Deep. Okay, I was gonna say I didn't have the title here. Let's get it loaded. Beautiful. Got you. Got you. Okay, let's get into it. All right, we're gonna listen to our first song here, y'all. I'm gonna only listen to probably 4 or 5 more. It's gonna be a short and sweet stream today, but if you would like to submit your music for a detailed, long-form consultation, we're not listening to popular artists unless you are directly connected to them. If you are a session musician or a producer or an engineer for a popular artist and you want to showcase what you did and your talents and break down the structure of how you accomplish that, I'm definitely willing to do that. We've done that before. We've had some people that manage people in here, and we've gotten like sneak previews of early releases from songs. But that's the only way that we're going to be listening to anything that's more popular. These are strictly or more ideally long form consultations for like underground independent artists. Of course, you can be signed to a boutique label or something like that, but most of the structure here is in order to benefit and help out, independent artists, producers, musicians, engineers, stuff like that. So if you would like to submit for a 30-minute consultation, 20 to 30-minute consultation, where we're going to break down your song 2 or 3 different times to really get into the details and the nuances of what you're doing, then go to my profile, click on the link, and click on the submission details right there. Is it Klingstrom? I appreciate you tapping in over on the Red app. You can go to the description for the live stream. It's different on every platform. On the Red app, go to the description for the platform. The description for the live stream. Jesus, my brain. And if you are on the Purple app, use your imagination. If you're on the Purple app, type !submit right there in the chat, and we'll get you moving. See, more people are saying it's low. What's going on? It's got to be just a TikTok glitch. Why are people saying it's low? It's at 500%, and it's the same audio going to every platform that's loud as hell. It's not low on yours, Aaron? It's got to be a weird TikTok glitch, right? Because half of y'all are saying that it's fine. Half of y'all, I'm an audio engineer, and it's freaking me out. It's making I'm an audio engineer with ADHD. Yeah, no, it's driving me nuts. This is my worst nightmare. This is my worst nightmare, being an audio engineer with ADHD that has half the people saying it's perfectly fine. It's as loud as ever. It sounds exactly the same. And then like 20 people coming into the chat being like, hey, just so you know, your audio is barely coming in. I'm going to go crazy. I'm going to lose it right here. Okay. It's fine. Okay. I'm assuming this is just a TikTok issue. If it is seeming low to you, you might want to try closing out the app and coming back in. You might want to try just clicking up the volume on your phone. Yeah, it can't be me because I have the exact same stream going to 3 different platforms. So, and the audio everywhere else is crispy. So, okay. Try swiping out and swiping back in or something. Francis, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Okay. Let's get into some music officially. I need to drop, Jenna, if you're in the chat, can you find an RVR and pin their song name and artist name so I can be reminded, because they don't have the song name in their email. I just have River, which is their artist name. So if you wouldn't mind, if you're in here or any other mods are in here, it would be very, very helpful if you could pin that. That'd be helpful because I can't see their name. Is it Azatian, whatever your name is, please do not spam the chat. If you get spammed, you will get muted. I do not want you to get muted. So if you want to submit, you can go the same route that every other person has gone for the last 3+ years doing these consultations. Otherwise, please not spam the chat. Of course, you will get muted, and I would rather you be able to, if they keep doing it, then you can mute them. Go to my profile, click on the link, and then read through and follow the details there. All right. This is River, Fall Deep, right here in the chat. River, let me know how, let's see. Sorry, y'all, it's been a chaotic start to the stream. Okay, that's fine. If it keeps going crazy, then, feel free to slow things down. Sorry, it's been a little bit of a crazy start to this stream because my brain's all over the place and we got a billion things going on. Thank you for the follows, y'all. Appreciate it. Just technical things and weird issues. River, let me know the role that you play in your music. I've never, as far as I know, I've never heard your music before. Thank you for the follow. I've never heard your music before. But I would love to know the context. I would love to know some details. I would love to know the role that you play in your music as far as production goes, as far as the mix and master goes. Are you working with session musicians, going to a studio? Are you self-producing? Are you, leasing beats off BeatStars? Are you downloading MP3s off YouTube? Give me some context. Give me some details. Let's get some details. Where's your beer and a pack of marbles? Well, I don't smoke, and I drink once every 4 months, and that's about it. All right. Mainly because I don't feel sharp if I do. Yep, go to my profile, click on the link, and when you click on the link, you'll see a submit. You'll see a form that says submit, or a tab that says submit. Just click that, and then you can read through and follow the details. You can copy the email over from right there. You can submit right below it. So just go to my profile, click on that link. If the link doesn't show up, it's a regional thing. Just happens randomly for certain regions. If the link does not show up, then hop on over to IG and find the same name. Any language. If it doesn't show up, it's a regional thing. So go to my IG. It's the same name. I'm the same name everywhere. Go to my IG and then just find the same link over there. You like these speakers I'm testing for review? Ooh, have you already posted about them, Timeline? All right, let's get into it. River, we're not messing around. Let's get into it. Nice. What size? Yes. I have to be cryptic on here because TikTok doesn't like it.
Deep fall, deep love.
Okay.
Fall so
Like a 3 or 4 inch sub or bigger?
all that I dreamed of, wish that you could understand. Your effect on me.
Who produced this? River?
Crazy. I'm so happy you're mine. Running circles through my mind like a track star. Straight through the finish line, get to my heart, baby. Daisy, I off you, I'm in a daydream. Hazy, cloud 9, lift me up to space, please. Claim me, I'm yours. You could be my baby, take me.
And then Herb, I got you up there as well. My friend Coop, the producer in Columbus, Georgia. Let's go.
Don't let me go, baby.
You have a good voice. Obviously, this needs a little polish on a couple different elements, but you have a good voice. You can tell the foundation is there. In fact, I think the production structure needs the most polish over the vocal needs some, but the production structure, there's some things that need to be connected. Okay. 2 or 3 way? What's up, Rudy? Welcome in. If y'all want to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, just read through and follow the details. Absolutely, Rudy. 100%. What's up, y'all? Welcome in.
Broke my blocks with ease the way you tackled in. Wrestling demons, killing fears and insecurities. Here for me to balance in. You showed the mirror scene. My mouth agape, I can't escape the love you have of me. You showed me, growing me. The master feet, I'm not on my feet, I'm falling deep. Flourishing, true love made the best of me. No settling. You made me wanna fall so deep in love. All that I dreamed of, wish that you
Ooh, okay.
understand.
Yeah, interesting, man. Interesting. I'm intrigued.
Effect on me drives me so crazy.
Dang.
I'm so happy you are mine. You made me wanna fall deep, fall deep, fall deep love.
Interesting. And it's just two speakers, a stereo pair. Let's go, River. Let's go. You got a great voice. Oof. Give me a couple years. Give me a couple years to save up time mine. Okay. Your vocal intuition is great. We just got to get this. We got to get this production on the same page as your vocal, and then polish the two of them together. Because they're a little bit on 2 different pages here, progression-wise. Melody that features over the production. Bass line. And we can probably, we'll dive into this, of course, as we kind of dive into it, but we can probably cut some of the fat here. Like, I think we can probably, really lock this in. It's a little bit run on in the production as well. The mastering engineer obsessed with them. I have to be in the phone. Ooh, time mine. That's amazing, man. Yeah, your voice is fantastic. Silky smooth. What are you recording on?
I'm not scared of the water. I'm not scared of the water.
Absolutely, Nova. 100%. Y'all show some love. So we do is listen to only yeah, just strictly run tour through it. That'd be fun. Let's go, Ja. I love to. Y'all tapping with Ja. Let's tap in with Ja. We love Ja. And is it Hervé? Am I saying that correctly? I think I called you Herv earlier because I didn't see the mark. But is it Hervé? I do want to make sure that I say y'all's name correctly. Perfect. Thank you so much. If I'm saying your name wrong, please, 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 please correct me. I had someone where I said their name when they first came in one time, and they never corrected me. And then literally like 18 months later, they are like, "By the way, it's this." And I was like, "Damn it! I've been saying your name the same way for the last 18 months every day." And so please, please correct me. I would hate to say your name wrong for that amount of time. But yes, if anybody wants to submit, go to my profile, click on the link. Just please read through and follow all the details. You can check the line over on the red or purple app, which you can also find at my link. Those are the other platforms that we're live on. This is River, and I think the song is called, let me see if I can find it again real quick. I didn't have it pinned. AI is allowed. This is a really detailed long form breakdown. So when it comes to AI, the thing that my goal is to offer a ton of value, get really into the details and the nuances of the decisions that are being made. So it is allowed. You can send it in, but my goal is to be valuable. And oftentimes with AI, the people that are submitting AI don't know how I can be valuable. I'm fine talking about songwriting structure. I'm fine talking about the way to build, like, flow, cadence, compartmentalizing the structures within your song, something that AI is dog shit at. Like, we can talk through some like practical things to do, ways to point this in the direction of a more cohesive production with real musicians, whatever it may be, right? To me, it doesn't really matter. I just want to be valuable, and I want you to get value out of it. I don't want you to waste your time. I don't want you to waste your money. And so I just want to make sure that I can be valuable. So I do have people that come in every once in a while that submit AI or foundational production tracks that are generated, and then we hire session musicians and producers to build them out. We can do stuff like that, but to me, it really just comes down to how can I actually help you? Or are you just trying to showcase what you did? And if that's the case, then this probably just isn't the best format for you, being that these are like long form detailed consultations. There's probably plenty of spaces where you can just like send it in to let people kind of hear what you're doing. And that's probably a more cohesive spot with the vision that you have. But if you want to dive into it, if you want to dive into songwriting structure, you want to dive into lyric formatting and melodic formatting and stuff like that, then I mean, I'm down. Just kind of depends on what you're looking for. What's up, DTSK? Good to see you, man. All right, let's dive in. River's in the building. River's in the building. Let's get it. Let's run it from the top. Let's dive into some details here. Okay, here's the thing immediately that I'm running into, River. One, you have a beautiful voice. Tracking is clear. It's cohesive. Your backgrounds are fluent in all languages on the planet. That's a stretch, but I can speak the music languages pretty good. Vocally beautiful, smooth. It's buttery. I love everything about it. It's really, really nice. Positioning on vocals needs to be worked on, but that's on the mixing side, largely speaking. Vocal production and mixing side. The production to me, and then the balancing of all these elements that are all very, very dry, meaning there's like no ambient processing on the outside there. Yeah, it's coming, time mine. It's coming. And no like peripheral processing, reverbs, delays, and stuff like that. The whole structure is really direct, and it's really dry. So on the mixing side, I'm looking at some stuff like that. The other side to it, before we're going to go back into the song, we'll dive into some specific details, is the production for me. And of course, when I'm saying stuff like this, I mean this in the most practical sense. I don't mean this in any way to hurt anyone's feelings or to tear them down in any sense at all. For those of you who know me, you know that's not what I do. But what I'm going to say is just strictly practical, but it's very disconnected. All of the different elements that are within this production structure, they don't marry very well. They don't blend very well. So the progressions don't match. The bass line doesn't work well with some of the melodic variants that come in over the top of the mix. There's a couple different counter melodies that come in that sound like they're potentially just in like a relative key, but not necessarily working really well with like the main key that everything is kind of processed in, and then the bass line doesn't even match that same progression. The sound design comes in and out of the mix a little bit randomly. And again, all this is on the production side. Sound design comes into the mix and out of the mix pretty randomly. So as far as like a verse and a hook and a verse and a hook and a bridge and then a hook, as far as song structure goes and formatting goes, it's a little bit messy. But then you have this beautiful vocal over the top of it. You have this like really nice voice and this really great texture and this really warm balance. And so I would love to get this production working in a way that everything feels very smooth, very even, very cohesive, and much less disconnected. I'm still my goal is not to make this robotic and sterile, but it's got to be somewhat palatable to the consumer. It's got to be, it can have some twists and turns and some lefts and rights and stuff like that, but it has to be grounded enough. There has got to be a percentage of it that is like grounded and familiar and then you can always float away from that a little bit, but the foundation of it needs to be pretty strong. What's up, Joshua? JP, thank you for the follow. Okay, so let's dive back into it. Let's get into it. Let's dive into some of these details here as opposed to just calling them out and really get into the structure of it. Got you, Nova. Let me get you up here real quick. Give me just 2 seconds to update a few things. And then Nova, we're diving back in. And then Hervé, I've got you up on the board as well, ready to go. I believe MC, that's you, right, Nova? I'm pretty sure because you're the one who just said you sent in. So I'm gonna assume that's you, and I'm gonna get you up on the board right now. Boom. Beautiful. Doo, doo, doo. And there's some great melodic structure here. There's some great movement. Oh, that's you. That's probably you. And then Spirit, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that a lot. So I think that's you. And then all right. Give me 2 seconds. So that's you. That's you. So let me see. So McKay. I got McKay up on the board. Nova. I'm looking for Paisley. Welcome in, of course. Absolutely. Okay, I think Nova, I think I'm just waiting on, I'm waiting on yours, Nova. It might take a second to come in. So I'm gonna keep my eyes on it. I haven't seen yours come in yet, but McKay, I did get yours. So you're up there right now. All right, and if anybody does want to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, and just read through and follow the details there. Once again, it's not going to be a very long live, so I'm going to keep things a little bit short and sweet today, so just keep that in mind. And also, you can keep your eye on the line, the order, the minimums on the other platforms that we're live on, Red and Purple app. Okay, let's run this from the top. Our River, let's dive into it. Let's dive into it. You're good. I was like, it hasn't come in. Sometimes things are slow. The internet, Wi-Fi, I don't know. It doesn't matter. So yeah, let's keep my eye out just in case. So here's what I'm going to base a lot of this on. Joshua, thank you for the rose. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you for your generosity. Here's what I'm going to base a lot of this on is this early progression, right? Because I hear this like first, I'm assuming they just use like a loop or something. Maybe they didn't. Maybe they MIDI'd some of this out. But this first kind of pad that they have in the background. So I'm going to use that as kind of my baseline to direct how we build a progression for this song. Because barely anything else in the production, definitely MIDI, yeah. Because barely anything else in the production matches this early progression. But this is kind of the progression you're basing a lot of your vocals on. So let's run with that. I think it's off like a G minor initially. Yep, G minor. F major. C minor. So you have this kind of let's go like D sharp major 7, F2, closes on an a C minor low. That's like the main progression here, right? That's the foundation. That's what this early pad is doing. Then the bass line moves away from that. The rest of the song, the rest of the production moves away from that. Some random melody moves away from that. But that pad is still in the background, like doing this loop over and over again. And so the rest of the production elements end up like having a root note that's different. Like the bass line doesn't match what like the main structure of the progression is. Let's go, Paisley. I love to hear that. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. I'm gonna get into your vocal here for a second and see how that actually matches over, honoring that initial progression because it's a great progression. I like it a lot. Got you, Nova. Dun, dun. So like in this melody, like in this progression here. Dun, 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 dun. Like that all works, right? That all feels like pretty cohesive and pretty connected. Outside of that, that's where we really need to like lock in the rest of this progression. Nova, I got you on the board. Appreciate you.
Fall deep, fall deep, fall deep love.
And you can hear how your vocals like completely completely dry. You still hear like the mouth noises. You still hear like the pops in between. It's a completely dry. Now it's a pretty clean, don't get me wrong, like a pretty clean, pretty forward vocal. But it's dry, right? There's very little dynamic control through compression, maybe some EQ going on. No, like, like sound cutting or anything like that, like noise reduction in the background to kind of clean up blank spaces. And no delay, reverb, any peripheral processing in order to like position that vocal in a way where it feels like it's any level of space. What's up, Drew? Welcome in. Tito, welcome in as well. I appreciate you being here. Yes, that's what I'm doing. I'm listening to y'all's music. If anybody wants to submit for a consultation, you can go to my profile, click on the link, and read through and follow the details there. I'm going to be closing up the line here in not too long because it is a short stream today. But you can definitely still submit. I would just encourage y'all to check the line on the other platforms that we're live on, which you can also find at my link as well. Okay, let's go a little bit deeper here because again, great melody structure.
Deep, fall, deep love.
It is, as long as you can think of a way that I can be valuable to you.
So deep in love, all that dream.
So now here that you can hear the guitar in the background right there. The guitar is doing a different progression than the pad was doing.
So deep in love, all that I dreamed of. Wish that you
There's the same chord.
understand your effect on me.
Strings come in, kind of a slightly different progression. Some of the root the harmonies on the guitar are similar. Some of those are similar to the structure that you have with the pad in the background, but then it disconnects once it moves to the melodic structure. And then the strings come in, again, doing a separate structure, doing a separate progression than already. So we're only 3 instruments in, and we're now getting 3 different progressions over your vocal. And then the bass line comes in, and that bass line does a different progression than the other elements that are in there. And that's what I'm talking about when it comes to like disconnection between all the different, pockets of this production that make it feel very uncertain. It makes it feel a little bit unstable as opposed to everything. Dun, 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 dun. And it's like everything's tied together and everything's doing kind of the same part of the structure, right? And maybe there's a different melody. Like you can add other elements. You can have other melodies, but they all fit within like the progression structure there. They don't feel disconnected doing too many different things, right? They're at least, even if they're doing different things, they're complementary to the rest of the things that are happening in the production structure. That's what I want you to look for in this production. That's what I would want this producer to edit a little bit and make sure that it actually fits really, really well. I don't know piano or guitar or anything. I just have the lyrics. What do I do? I mean, you have a couple different options. One would be to, you can purchase other people's music. You can purchase beats from other people, or you can start to learn those things yourself, which I would recommend. I think learning piano, learning guitar is a really empowering thing to do. Having some level of control and knowledge in the way that you're building out your own music, I think is really empowering. I think is really valuable. Or you can hire session musicians, you can hire full-scale producers and stuff like that. I mean, really the only options come down to either you learn how to do it yourself or you hire other people to do it for you, or some hybrid between the two. You demo yourself and then you bring in session musicians and stuff like that. And that range can be super big as well, right? You got people that, charge $10 for a beat and people that charge, $20,000 for a beat. Like it's crazy. You just got to find where you're at with your budget, with your skills, with your understanding of the space that you want to go into, and then invest appropriately based on what you're doing. Smokey McSmokerson is in the building. Yes, this is a paid service. This is not a review. So, for those of you who are curious, this is not a live music review. It's not we're going to play your song for 5 minutes. I'll tell you to get a better mix, give you tell you to have better energy, bro, and then move on. These are like 20 to 30 minute multiple listen consultations. So it is a paid service. I do far longer consultations offline all the time. As someone who works, full time in the music industry, I work full time as a producer, engineer, and session musician. So that's the structure of what we do here. So I know a lot of people are just used to live music reuse and a free line and a 5-skip. That's just not the structure that we do here. I value that other people do that and they can move really quickly and they get to a free line and stuff like that. Just not what we do. So yeah, the structure of this is a long form, 30-minute, multiple listen consultation on the structure of your music, where we can dive into the details that we're diving into now and talking about progression structure for your song and actually giving these specific tools in order to correct it. So that's the structure of this live stream. So yeah, that's kind of the way that we work things out. Okay, let's get a little bit deeper in here, but keep in mind River, who we're talking to. I know we're a little bit all over the place. River, who we're talking to. The progression that the pad is playing is a G minor, D sharp major, F major, C minor. That to me is what works the best over your vocal. That's what the original pad is doing. That's what you're basing your vocal off. And then the rest of the production starts to slowly kind of crumble as these other elements come in. And that's what I want you to try, either whether you do some of this yourself, work with someone else, or with this actual producer, get them to make some edits to where all these elements align so that they're complementing your vocal structure and your harmonies. Because what's happening is part of it is that we need to improve some polish on the vocal mix itself. The other side is that this production and the progression, the inconsistencies in the progression are making your vocal feel more out of tune than they are. They can use a little bit of help. We can use some, manual polish. We can do some mixing on the vocals, some vocal production. But the reality is that all these other elements that are kind of disconnected are making you feel farther off than you actually are. And that's what I want to kind of hone in on, because to me, that kind of makes or break this whole thing. Makes or breaks this whole thing. I can't talk. Can you repeat that chord for me? Yep. And again, it'll all be on the live. It'll be on the VOD as well. So if you forget anything, you don't live stream, you don't take a note, you can always go back and reference it as well. But I'll tell you again. It's a G minor. It's your starting chord. And again, this is following the pad. D sharp major, F major, and then C minor. That's like the main progression. And then it floats a little bit away from that.
Drives me so crazy. I'm so happy you are mine.
Like when I'm so da, 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 I'm so happy you're mine. Or you could end on the G minor, you're mine. Like there's some opportunity for a really cohesive structure there. We just got to find it between the guitars and the strings and stuff that come in.
Running circles through my mind.
And then again, the low end of the guitar, hold on, this is echoing here. Low end of the guitar and the pad start the same. And then the bass, which is kind of holding everything down, right? The bass is kind of determining this whole progression, right? Like you have the pads and strings and stuff starting out, but the bass is kind of what, gives you some weight. It gives you some, as a listener, the bass gives you direction on how to like settle that chord progression, right? And then the bass comes in on A sharp now, right? So again, completely different. We had some stuff starting on the G minor, some stuff starting on like even down to the D sharp. And then all of a sudden we have a bass that comes in on the A sharp. That's where all of this like disconnection is happening. So you basically have, it starts a little bit higher, right? You have da, 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 da. And you have all of this happening, right? And I like this progression a lot. This is nice. Da, 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 da. And then you have the bass that comes in with da, 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 da. You're like, hold on. You're like, okay, hold on. Like, wait, what's the direction that we're going to here? That A sharp comes in and it completely shifts how the energy of the song feels, right? It feels a little bit unstable all of a sudden, as opposed to da, 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 so it's your mind. It all feels connected. It's all moving on the same progression. The early pad, the bass line, and the rest of the elements kind of follow that. Now, again, acoustic guitar, some of the strings can float away. But the bass line, in my personal opinion, needs to follow that progression or definitely complement it. In this case, I don't know if it does.
Like a track star, straight through the finish line, get to my heart, baby Daisy.
What's up? Welcome in, y'all. Appreciate y'all being here.
Hazy cloud nine, lift me up to space, please. Claim me, I'm yours. You could be my baby. Take me, I need all your love around me. Place me in your arms, hold me tightly. Don't let me go, baby.
Like I want to hear,
Fall so deep in
Don't do that. That's what I want to hear, right? That's like where the progression should follow. To the G right there. Empty it out a little bit. Guitar sounds nice there. Guitar's following.
Deep love.
Yeah, so like the guitar and the pad are doing the same thing. closely at least. The guitar and the piano are following largely the same structure, right? And then the bass comes in on a completely different progression. All you got to do in this case, G, it's going to shift a little bit. So we're gonna shift the progression here. G minor, D sharp major, F major to G minor. That's like the loose structure, right? G minor, D sharp major, F major, back to the G minor. Acoustic guitar follows that, which is beautiful. I like it. The pad that's now panned to the left side, that follows that. I like that a lot. And then the bass line is in its own world. It's doing its own thing. I don't mind the bass doing some creative stuff, but we still need to kind of target the same progression. You can kind of do boom, 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 boom. You know, like we can have some boom, 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 boom. Like we can have some interesting bass line structure there that makes it, you know, creative and soulful and have some good movement and swing to it. But if it's just doing a completely different progression, it's never going to feel settled. It's never going to feel, it's going to feel kind of, it's going to give you some like anxiety to listen almost to, because you don't feel that like grounding effect of just a really like connected, cohesive progression and structure underneath it. So I think one of the most important things that I would do is get all of your production structure on the same page. Get it all on the same page. Absolutely. Roy, and thank you for the follow. Lada, thank you for the follow as well. I really appreciate that. If anybody wants to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, read through and follow the details there, and we'll get you up on the board. Emily, thank you for the follow as well. What's up, River? Welcome in, welcome in. McKay, it's just a weird TikTok glitch. So try swiping out and swiping back in. Try turning up the volume on your phone. It's just a weird TikTok glitch today. It's never happens. I don't know why it's doing it. But for whatever reason today, TikTok is having a weird glitch where it gets randomly quiet. Yeah, try exiting out and swiping back in. But yeah, it's just a weird TikTok thing. I'm not sure why it's happening.
You made me wanna fall deep, fall deep, fall deep in love.
Yeah, it's just a weird, I don't know. It's a weird TikTok thing. Because it's only quiet for some people, okay? It's weird. Yeah, I don't know what the issue is. Half the people say it's fine, and then half the people say that it's super quiet. And I have no control over it for whatever reason. Yeah, I'm not positive. If it's super annoying, then go to one of the other platforms I'm live on, which you can find on my link. But yeah, it's weird. I'm not sure why it's doing it. It's only today. A couple days ago, it wasn't this way. And for whatever reason, half the people say it's quiet, half the people say it's not.
So grappling, broke my blocks with ease the way you tackled it.
Like this, like this is like there's good vocal structure here, but I want to hear. Holding me down. Like I want to hear like the energy of everything connecting. The bass isn't connecting, then the production structure isn't connecting. So, in my opinion, biggest thing you need to focus on is production structure. That's the biggest thing that we need to focus on. Because if that doesn't line up, it's going to be really challenging for you to know what to do with your vocal, what melodies to hit, because the progression and the chords and the melodies are changing. You got to know what harmonies to do. You got to know which melodic structure to build on, and that's going to be very, very challenging for you if it's moving around too much underneath your feet, right? So that's what I want you to focus on. Let me skip forward a little bit. If you want to, if you're talking about submitting, then go to my profile, click on the link, and then just read through and follow the details there. We'll get you up on the board. If y'all do want to check the line, the order, and the minimum, which I would encourage you to do because I'm not going to be on for very long today, go to my, you can go to that same thing and just go to the different platforms that I'm live on, either the red or purple app, and it'll give you what you need there. All right, let me skip forward a little bit here too. Let's go, Joe. Like that's the progression I want to feel, right? And we can change. I mean, we can change progression. You make me wanna fall deep. Right? We can change progression everything just needs to be on the same page, right? So if you want to have different moments, River, where like your main structure is here, that's perfectly fine. Like most of your verses and your hook, but if you want to go to like a bridge here, make me wanna fall deep on a like you can change progression and just make sure that all of the production elements line up with that and are pointed in the same direction. If you could do that, I think I'll have a much better image of like what this song is. But then it also just needs, I think, an upgrade in sound design choices too. Like the register of the bass itself, the sound of the bass itself. I want a little bit, even like the drums itself. I feel like this could have a much more like natural, organic, acoustic structure to it while still honoring some of this like classic R&B feel and the layering that you have. Like right now, it feels very like stock and very dry. And that's not specifically a bad thing, but I don't think it's complementing the amount of like texture and like beautiful natural movement that you have in your vocal. Just because everything's so dry, they're not doing the right progression over each other, and they're a little bit disconnected, right? So I think you have a great foundation vocally and some good like segmentation. Like again, a good bridge. You have a really consistent hook. Some nice layers in there as well. They just need to be repositioned and produced out a little bit more. But my biggest gripe is with the structure of the production because it's not lending you any space to really build with that vocal. Let me hear the outro here really quick, and then we'll move on.
Jump in, jump in, jump in. I'm not scared of the water. I'm not scared of the water.
I mean, you know what? I'm gonna and then we'll move on. I promise we'll move on. I'm gonna go and show you like more of what I imagine, just for the sake of showing, right? I think sometimes it can be valuable to just play it, so you can at least like point your attention towards it. I'm gonna pull up some drums here really quick. Thank y'all so much for tapping in. I really appreciate y'all being here. From those of y'all that are joining for the first time, if y'all are looking to submit, I see a bunch of people dropping their songs in the chat. If you want to submit, go to my profile, click on the, hold on. Yeah, go to my profile, click on the link, and then just read through and follow the step. What's up, Free Willy? Jody, thank you for the follow. Of course, River. I mean, the strong suit of the song is absolutely vocal structure. We just got to bring everything up to par. Right now, it's not, and we can. It's possible. It just needs a different production structure. Let me show you just real quick kind of what we're going to go to Rudiments is one of my favorite like R&B, hip hop and R&B drum plugins. I love it. Let's open this up real quick. We'll throw some I need to find a cross stick, so give me a sec. Some of these are crazy. Some of these are nuts. Nope. All these are crazy. Why are all of these crazy? Not quite there. I didn't realize how crazy all of these sounded. Hold on. What's up, Retrack? Oh, what's up, dude? Yeah, I can play off SoundCloud. I can play off anything as long as I have access to it. Jesus. Robbie, what's up? Jeez. I feel like every time I use this, I guess I'm using something a bit bigger. Even this, not what I'm looking for, but you get the idea, right? It's a little bit more. Let me see. I'm gonna try one more. You'll get the idea. It's less like FL Studio stock trap beat and something that's got a little bit more of a natural texture to it. I'm not finding anything that I want here. Nothing. Let's see.
Deep love, you made me wanna fall deep,
There.
deep love.
I don't even think it's quantized either.
So grappling, broke my blocks with ease the way you tackled in. Wrestling demons, killing fears and insecurities. Here for me to balance in. You showed the mirror scene. My mouth agape, I can't escape the love
River,
you have for
RVR.
me. You shown me, growing me. The master feet, I'm not on my feet, I'm falling deep. Flourishing, true love made the best of me. No settling. You made me wanna fall so deep in
So,
love.
this is not what I'm looking for. Ignore half of that, but I hope, hopefully, ideally, you get the idea of like right now, this really like stock sound with the disconnected progression is going to be, it's going to do a little bit of a disservice to how good your voice is. And then to me, get this grounded, get this exactly where you want it. And then on top of that, you can always rework vocals or dig into vocal production another time. But to me, none of that matters if the foundation is way too unstable. Y'all please show some love to River. River, thank you so much for coming in. Thank you so much for sending this. I really appreciate it. Really, really appreciate it. Appreciate your vulnerability. What's up, Tay? I appreciate you tapping in. Welcome in. But everybody, please show some love to River. This is a vulnerable record. I do think you have a beautiful voice. Robbie, thank you for the follow. I do think you have a beautiful voice. It's very natural. This is great tracking. It's very clean. It's established really well. Production structure to me needs a lot of work, like foundational work. So what you do with that information to me is completely up to you stylistically. It's completely up to you if you want to keep working with this person to make some adjustments to what's here. Try to work with someone else, rework something on your own. Like that's completely up to you. But this needs some like foundational like progression and sound design choice work that to me is the baseline for creating a production in the first place. And it's not doing your vocal service, which is a really smooth vocal. Like these melodies are fantastic. Tate, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. These really nice melodies that are catchy, that are going to get stuck in my head without a production to support it and a progression that's consistent. If you can lock those things in, I think you're going to be in a great spot. Y'all show some love. I know I spent a lot of time on that one. Y'all show some love to River. That's RVR right here in the chat. Love and appreciate you so much. Thank you for sending that in. Let's keep the music going. Once again, if y'all do want to submit your music, go to my profile, click on the link, read through it, and follow all of the details there. We'll get you up on the board. If you want to check the line, which I would encourage you to do as it's a quick live today, if you want to check the line, then you can go to the other platforms that we're live on and find the line over there, the red and purple app. But y'all keep tapping the screen share at the live with a few people. Make sure y'all send in your heartbeat for the day. Oh, y'all want to see something fun really quick? I think we got Hervé in the building. Hervé, hop in the chat. Hop in the chat. Hop in the chat. I would love to. Yeah, we listen to absolutely all genres. There's Hervé. Zach, okay, yeah, let me double check. Let me double check. Yeah, all genres, all languages, all levels of preparedness, all quality. Let me double check for you, Zach. Zach, I think I got you saved to my list. Give me one moment. Ooh, y'all want to see something? I just got this today. Guitarists will appreciate it. Let me see. I need to fix it up. I need to work it out. I'm not even like a metal musician, but this thing is sick. That's an old dime bag. I think it's a 332. A dime bag 332 or something like that. This is great. Like when it comes to like me like getting musicians and stuff like that, when it comes down to like getting instruments and whatever, I just get what allows me to do the most like variety. I have just like random stuff. I've got a Schecter, I've got a Stratocaster, I've got a couple Gretches in here. I've got a Samick from the 80s. I've got a Hofner like 60s emulation. I have the most random stuff in the world, which I love. It makes me happy. I like having a lot of variety because you just never know when I'm gonna need, like sometimes I'll be doing like a jazzy lo-fi record or something like that. I'll put the Stratocaster on, or maybe I'm doing like a 60s like Vox style tube amp run, record for a client, I'm using the Gretsch, like a hollow body for something like that. But if I have like a trap beat that I'm working on that needs like a lead metal guitar, I need stuff like a Dimebag. I need stuff like the Schecter C1 Plus that I have to like just make sure that I can hit like authentically each genre. I love stuff like that. So anyways, I just traded a guy an old amp I had in the studio and picked it up today, which is it's a nice little find. Honestly, in pretty decent condition. Like it looks pretty good. I haven't played it yet, but it looks pretty clean. Looks pretty good. Just throw some fresh strings on there, set it up, and we'll be good to go. Ty, thank you for the roses. I appreciate you a lot. Okay, give me one sec. Let me get. Okay, so Nova, you're good. And give me 1 second here to get. Hey, sounds good. Sounds good, Joe. I appreciate you so much. Yeah, if anybody wants to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, and then just read through and follow the details there. We'll get you up on the board. Hold on. I need to open up this file, and it doesn't want to right now. Give me 1 moment. Music live stream. There we go. Zach 15. Boom. I got you right here. Zach is first on my list. Ready to go. Let me get you up there. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for tapping back in today. I really appreciate that. My allergies are back with a vengeance because Texas climate is bipolar. It's all over the place. All over the place. Literally within like in one day today, it'll be like 85 and it'll be like 43 tonight. It's ridiculous. I hate it so much here. I gotta leave. All right, let's get into the next track here. We got Hervé in the building. Here's a link to a single I released. Look forward to review. All right, let's get into it. I'm gonna pull this up. This one is out on platforms. It is out on platforms. So if you like what you hear, let's get into it. If you like what you hear, then go stream it, go add it to your playlist, go like the track, so on and so on. This is a song that came out, I think last year. Yeah, it came out in 2025. It's called Somewhere New. Hervé, give me all of just like we did on the last track, give me all of the details. Talk to me about production structure. Talk to me about the whole, let me see here. Yeah, talk to me about production structure. Talk to me about mix and master, the role that you played in your music, and let's dive into it. Sad Bricks, thanks for tapping in. That's not something I'm doing, but I do appreciate you tapping in today. We're doing long form consultations for anyone who wants to tap in. If you are wanting to submit, you can go to my profile, click on the link, and just read through the details. Produced and mixed myself. Let's dive in. This is Somewhere New by Hervé. Thank you for the hand heart. I appreciate you. Thank you for the follow, Olivia. Thank you for that. Thank you for the heart me. And thank you for the follow. Ooh. Did you play that sax? Come on, dude. I might need to hit you up for some 80s stuff. Yeah, is it just an instrumental? I also want to teach myself sax, but until then. This is beautiful. What are you using for that bass line? It sounds like maybe a sub 25, 37 or something. What's that bass line? What's up, Brandon? Welcome in. Beautiful. This is smooth, man. This is really nice. Very nice. Analog lab bass, Arturia. Let's go. Very nice, man. It's a nice open mix too. It's wide, it's smooth. Nothing's standing out. Nothing's harsh or abrasive. This is easy. Hey, thank you for the heart me V and for the Go Popular. I appreciate you so much. I hope you're doing amazing. Yeah, this is nice, man. You can tell you've been doing this for a while. I'm gonna go out on a limb. I don't know. I can't even see you. I don't know what you like. I'm assuming you've been doing this for a couple decades. What's up, V? I'm assuming you're 20 years into the game. I got you, Robbie. Yeah, let's go, V. I like this, man. I like it. Y'all show some love. Let's show some love, show some love, show some love. That is Hervé, Somewhere New. Thank you, V. I appreciate you. Show some love to Hervé. We're going to dive into this. We're going to break it down. We're going to get into some details here. I like this a lot, man. It's really smooth. It's really easy. And there's some things that I really love and enjoy. Charles, thank you for the follow about your production structure here. Hervé, thank you for the hand hearts. I appreciate you so much. Let's dive into it. Let's learn it from the top. But really quick, Robbie, you asked the question. It's a good question. Being that you play multiple instruments, what is the, oops, it keeps flipping back for me. What is the best way to learn how to play an instrument? So, my story is a little bit unique, but maybe it'll still be helpful for you. And I can talk through a couple really brief things before we dive into Hervé's track here. I started playing drums when I was 4 years old, just by ear. I don't know. I just knew how to play somehow. It's weird. It sounds cheesy. I just knew how to play when I was 4 or 5 years old. I was already like playing on like small electric kits and stuff like that. My parents said that if I wanted a drum set, if I ever wanted to get a drum set, I had to learn piano. They just said, we've got to get a foundation. So I started playing piano classically when I was 6 years old, and I took lessons and did guild and all that all the way through like 18, 19 years old. Every other instrument that I learned, so like my first trained instrument was piano. Every other instrument that I learned by ear. So being able to play like bass, electric guitar, stuff like that, and like actually playing a full drum kit and learning all that, I learned by ear. Now I have more formal training in studio and audio engineering, which helped later down the road. I did a 2.5-year private mentorship in a studio where I worked with an engineer and got trained in audio engineering and live sound mixing and stuff like that. But early on, it was all ear. And the way that I learned by ear, hopefully this is the most helpful part for you. For one, I think piano is probably one of the best instruments to start with, because what you learn in piano as far as transposing, modulation, as far as scaling, as far as like coordination, all of that stuff, rhythm, keeping time, using a metronome. I think piano is probably one of the best ways to build that dexterity and be able to like train your ear in pitch to classic 440, right? Like I think that is probably the best way to do it. So I would encourage you just like get yourself like a cheap MIDI controller, or get yourself like a cheap, electric piano off of Facebook Marketplace or something like that, and start to watch some like beginner tutorials on YouTube of piano. The best thing that you can do is train your ear. When I taught myself how to play guitar when I was like 8 years old. And the way that I did it was just by ear, strictly. It was, I knew, at 8 years old, it's not like I was some like prodigy at 8 years old or something. I had to do it for a long time to get pretty good at it. But like at 8 years old, I knew I could play, wait, where'd my piano go? Hold on. That was anticlimactic. Let me see. Where's my piano? There's my piano. I knew that I could, I knew I could do this, right? I could do that stuff, right? At 7, 8 years old. And so what I did when I was teaching myself piano is I would just try to do this on guitar, and I would keep moving my fingers until it matched, right? I was like, I can do this. I can do this all day on piano at 8 years old, 9 years old, whatever. And so I would pick up the guitar and I'd I would just find the note until it matched, until I could kind of lock into it. And then on the guitar, I would play or whatever, right? And I would learn how to play that on guitar. And then I was like, okay, and again, this is at a fairly young age, but you can start literally whenever. I was like, okay, I have my scales, right? I have my scales, I have my chords. How can I recreate that? So even as I was trying to learn piano scales and I was building more of a catalog of tools in piano, I started matching that with guitar and trying to learn how to play scales on guitar, and then a minor scale on guitar, and then like a pentatonic scale on guitar, and then like the reverse, phrase of that on the guitar. I started just learning a lot of that on my own, but all by ear, right? And so that's, we've been on for a little while, maybe an hour and a half or so, Blue. Welcome in. It's good to see you. I appreciate you being here. And so that was how I got started. So anyways, I would start with learning basics on piano. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. Learn the key of C, learn the key of C and just be able to just learn how to be able to do that, right? On all the white keys right there, keep it really, really simple. And just learn what that sounds like, what that feels like. If you can't train your ear to learn what sounds good or not good within playing a group of notes, then you're going to have a lot of issues. You're going to have a lot of issues with being able to make adjustments in your own production as you're trying to learn. So that's what I would focus on. I would have in. But my guy is still reviewing the first. I mean, it took us like 40 minutes just to get to the first song, just because we were trying to get everything moving here, and I had all those weird issues going. But yeah, every breakdown here is long. I know you're messing around, but every breakdown here is long. There's never a short one ever. it's always at least 20, 30 minutes. Back on the keys, my composition got 100%. So yeah. Anyways, that's a loose. I'll lob that into your court now, but that is a loose version of how I started learning other instruments by ear. Was just like, now that I know piano like the back of my hand, and I can play piano really seamlessly, and I have since I was 6 years old. It makes it a lot easier for me to like pick up a bass, or even like, I would love to learn cello. The next instruments that I want to learn are saxophone and cello. I really want to learn those instruments. And so I'll probably do the same thing that I'm literally telling you to do. What I'll probably do is eventually I'll buy a cello, I'll buy a saxophone, and I will watch some tutorials on the foundational things, like how to actually like use the instrument, positioning and stuff like that. I'll watch some tutorials like I told you to do, and then I'll start to learn by ear. I'll be like, okay, this is all in B flat. This instrument's in B flat. So now I got to kind of run through things. Yeah, sax prices are crazy, especially if you want to get like, YouTube University, man. Especially because I want to get like a nice like YAS, like Yamaha saxophone, and it's those are easily $1,000, $1,200, even like on Marketplace. So it's same thing with cello. Like a decent cello still like $600 to $800. So it's hard. It's hard sometimes. It's a higher barrier to entry. A good like wind or brass instrument and like a good cello is a much higher barrier than like a $150 guitar that's like decent. I mean, even like a Squier Strat is like a pretty damn good guitar for like $220 new, right? Like you can get some decent. You can get a cheap drum set for like $300, $400, but not so much with like good quality brass instrumentation. So, all right, let's get back into it. It sounds good, Markeel. I pray to God it works. I hope it works out. All right, let's get into this. Let me say really quick, Hervé, I think you're amazing. I think you're beautiful. I think your music, you might be beautiful too. I think your music is beautiful. My brain is shot, y'all. Gosh. I think your music is fantastic. One thing that I wish I had on here was a little bit more of a tail to the record, right? This is just under 3 minutes. Fantastic. That's a good structure. It's just under 3 minutes long, but it cuts really abruptly. I wish you went through another notch of 4 measures and just faded out really easily, like right here. It's groovy. It's beautiful. I love it. And then it's 2, 3, 4. And it's gone. I wish that you went back here and did this like another 4 measures here at the end when it comes back in. Last 4 measures, boom. And then here, just fade out. Just like another 4 measures right there to kind of ease us out of the record. It's so smooth. It's so beautifully done. You have such incredible musicianship in this track that to me, Cap, don't spam the chat. You'll get blocked. I don't want you to get blocked. I would love for you to be able to engage with the community, but stop spamming the chat. If you want to submit, go to my profile, click on the link. Everything's right there. But yeah, I would love to fine tune that part of the structure right there, just because it's everything's so smooth and so easy, and all of a sudden we're out. As opposed to like giving me a second to like breathe and like let it resolve and let it move a little bit. Cap, now he's gone. He's gone. Retrack. I gave him a shot. That's crazy. That's crazy. It's their own Discord community too. Yeah, you can block him. Yeah, that's bullshit. All right, let's run it from the top. Let's get into it. This is beautiful. And And it starts pretty abrupt too, but I like that you get into it really quickly. You grab people's attention. I do think that's really, really valuable in this space. At the same time, you can relieve it a little bit slower at the end and resolve it a little bit slower so it doesn't feel too abrupt, doesn't feel too abrasive. Thank you, Retrack. I appreciate you, man. I also love, again, this is little production things that matter a lot. I love that this bass is not quantized. It's not like straight to the grid. Ooh, let's go, Blue. Oh, I'm excited. We get a Blue track. Let's go. I'm excited, Blue. Let me get you up there in just a minute once I finish this breakdown. I love that the bass is not quantized, or if it is, you slid it off the grid a little bit. It's got a little bit of swing. You also have a little bit of attack on the envelope right there as well on that bass. That low bass, you get a little womp, womp, womp. It's a little bit of a slower attack on there, which I love as well. The envelope moves a little bit slower, resolves pretty quickly with your release. Makes it feel really interesting, makes it feel funky. I like that a lot. At the same time, it's not right on the grid, or at the very least, even if it's slightly on the grid and swung, the attack pushes it off of that grid just a little bit. So even though you have this beautiful movement in the percussion, the foundation of it with that bass feels like it has a really natural movement, almost like a tuba underneath there. You know what I mean? Like, but with a synthesis element that I really love and enjoy. It sounds great, man. I like that a lot. And lots of tension with those seconds with the guitar on the left side too. Like production structures, it's nasty. I like it. I'm a fan. 19 monthly listeners, by the way, y'all. 19 monthly listeners. I don't know what's going on the other side of the music story of, promoting your stuff and getting more of your stuff out there. But we got to do more. I know that much. Oh, Jesus. Getting hooked on the Neumann. All right. And let me double check for same place. So just scroll to the top. Is it extra? Am I saying extra tone maybe? There's an email at the top. Just copy the email over in there and you'll be, when should you fade out versus a dropout? To me, it largely, that's a great question. That's a great question, Retrack. When should you fade out versus dropout or just resolve, right? Because like sometimes like, again, a fade out would be like what we're talking about where you like bring the levels down, right? It's like, here's your fade out. It's very like, 80s, that's obviously you still do it now, but it's very 80s. Or do you have at the end of the song where it chops, right? You'll have, dun, 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 and it's gone. And then you have a resolution or a resolve that would be, where it doesn't fade, doesn't cut, it resolves, right? So those are like largely your three options. You can fade out, so your instrumentation structure keeps going and you just fade your master signal, your master volume down to 0 over a certain amount of time. That's your like master fade at the end right there. A cut would just be abrupt, just like Hervé did right here, where you cut it right at the end. You slice it right there and it just moves straight into the next song really abruptly. Time and place for that too. Or you can resolve and you just let the chord resolve, or the instrument, the drums hit a cymbal, you hit the chord and you let it resolve and you still like put a little fade at the end. How you do that and when you do that, yes, it is extra tone. So when you go to my profile, click on the link and then you read through the steps right there. The first step up there, or one of the first steps at the top right there, there's an email that you can just copy over and then send your tracks to that. It's one of the first steps over there. So just make sure you read those. But yeah, when and how you do that to me really depends on what is happening before that. Like, does it make sense? Is it like a fun surprise that happens? You like, it's different at the end when you have like a metal track and it's and then it's done. You know what I mean? It's like, it cuts really quick right there. The context leading up to that, it makes it like a cool just surprise that it just ends on this cliffhanger at the end, right? Or, maybe some really cinematic track that builds up, and then it just closes right there. The context leading up to it, to me, kind of gives you a reference for how you should close, right? What's up, RBP? Thank you for tapping in. I appreciate you being here. And another one would be like in this case, where we have kind of a freestyle instrument on the top and a looped structure underneath. It's a little bit shocking when that loop stops, right? So in this case, you have something that's you have this like looped percussive structure underneath it, and then a freestyle instrument on the top. There's nothing that's like telling you like the energy shifting, just because you just have this really smooth jazz solo over the top of it with this beautiful saxophone. Again, sound design is spotless. I love it so much. And then it just stops. It's not like there was a build of energy and then we like the song climaxes and then we cut really fast and it's dramatic, or the song like fades down really smoothly and you kind of close the door in that loop. You're just like in the mode vibing to the song in a really smooth looped pattern, and then the loop just stops, it just cuts, right? And so that's where, in my opinion, having a resolve, having a fade could be beneficial, because the context is like a continuous pattern and repetition that your brain kind of settles into, and then it's just gone for a second, as opposed to you just kind of close it down slowly, and then everything feels really even and really natural, right? So that's kind of the context. Again, there's not really a lot of right or wrong answers to how you build this structure, but to me, the context leading up to it can kind of determine the dynamic range that you leave the song off of. Like, do you leave with a bang? Do you leave with a cut? Do you leave with a fade? Or do you like resolve on the chord, right? Something like that. Like even in this, you could have like on the saxophone, you could have these like really interesting chords and then and like let that resolve a little bit. There's ways that you can do it that might be a little bit smoother, might be a little bit more connected to what was happening before. But again, answer to the question would be, what's the context? Are we building energy and then cutting it dramatically? Are we consistent in energy? We need to fade out really naturally. Or on the flip side, are we looping something for the most part and we're really, really consistent and we need to find a way to resolve it or fade it out? But the context to me is what matters the most. All right, let's keep going. That's not even like a complaint with the song. In my brain just wanted it to keep going. Like my brain just wanted to keep moving and keep flowing with it. And so it felt a little bit abrupt because again, my brain settled into pattern recognition because we're just hearing this beautiful structure. And beautiful. So like I'm just like vibing, and then it cuts, right? It just kind of the air leaves the room for a second, and so that's because the production you've built in this case, and then again, I'm not harping on this song. I just mean in general, right? But when digging into the structure of this song in particular, yeah, it is 4/4. When digging into this song in particular, it's a loop production structure underneath and then freestyling over the top of it. And so my brain goes into pattern recognition mode. It settles. It kind of gets lazy a little bit and is just vibing with the song. That's exactly, I'm assuming, exactly what Hervé wants to happen, right? Like it's so smooth. It's easy. This is just chill, sit back, relax, and listen to it. And then there's an abrupt structure that happens, or a structural change that happens that I do think throws it for a second. The smoother you can shift that, I think the better. Okay, and then extra, I got you. Let me update the line here. I got to update you and Blue on the line here in just one moment. You're so talented, oh man. This is so good. Like I'm harping on those little details here, and we're talking about the outro of the song. It doesn't even matter. You got people locked in, man. This is beautifully, beautifully done as far as what you're doing musically. It's so good. But I feel like a 4/4 is a bit lazy in my opinion. I mean, I wouldn't say 4/4 is lazy. It's just a time signature. It depends on what you're trying to do. Like 4/4 is just, 4/4 could be a blast beat on a metal track, or it could be a smooth jazz record, or it could be an opera track. Like 4/4 is just a time signature that you're settling your production elements into. So to me, it's not inherently lazy. It's what you put on top of it that to me determines what's lazy or not. I mean, there's some, Bohemian Rhapsodies in 4/4. There's nothing lazy about the production structure of that song. It's incredibly articulate and it has incredible movement to it. And it's like 9 minutes long of just crazy twists and turns production wise. Nothing lazy about it. It's in 4/4. It's just a time signature that you put your sounds over. Yeah, it's just a tasting though. Leo, welcome in. I appreciate you being here. Beautiful. Hervé, this is amazing. Extra is your name. Start with a J. So as to connect the right name. Got you, JM. Perfect, got you. Beautiful. Love those sevenths too. And it's for good reason. Let me say that real quick too. These are good conversations to have. And by the way, y'all, this is out and you should go listen to it. This is out and you should go listen to it. There's a reason why it's so common, and it's because it's easy to listen to. It doesn't take work to listen to. So there is, for whatever magical reason, right? There is a flow to 4/4 that is a commonality that everyone experiences that feels very natural. That count feels resolved, right? And then you can count to threes, you can count sixes, obviously like 3, 4, 6, 8 waltzes and stuff like that have a completely different shift and feel. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The movement feels completely different. And what it does to your brain is completely different, right? And then the same thing with doing like 5, 4, 7, 8. We had a track the other day that was 3 counts of 4 and then a 5/4. It was a really, really interesting metal track that had a really interesting production structure to it. It was weird and had a lot of twists and turns to it, right? But if you are trying to make music that is easy to listen to, you should probably not choose signatures that are challenging to listen to. Now, because our brains are kind of adapted to this rhythmic structure of 4 counts per measure, right? That is what we've kind of like built into the structure, right? And so when it comes down to a lot of what we're talking about, I think it really some of it is taste. Like I just like songs that are in 5/4 or like you said, like a 2/04 or something like that. Like it can be, a personal taste to like things that are a little bit interesting. But also if you're trying to make a smooth jazz record where people don't work at all, where they literally can like close their eyes and just like chill out to something, you don't want the brain to work. You don't want it to be like challenging. You want it to be easy. You want it to be chill. Late night, slow jams. You know what I mean? You want it to be really easy. And so it really just depends on your taste and your goal for your music and your goal for what you want the audience to experience as well. Is on my band, the best of new are not by force. Yeah, personal taste. Personal taste. It's called Somewhere New. Somewhere New by Hervé, who's in the chat here, maybe a little bit above. Hervé, drop in the chat with the name and your artist name and song name as well, so people can find you as well. Maybe we can get you pinned as well. Yeah, I think that's just taste, Matthew. It's just taste, right? So like it might be exhausted for you and it might be the best thing in the world for 100 million other people that love listening to Sabrina Carpenter. You know what I mean? Like it's just a taste thing. And I appreciate you, man. Yeah, thank you for engaging, man. I appreciate you a lot. Beautiful wash. It's open. I love it, man. I love it. Perfect. Thank you. Y'all go follow Hervé right here in the chat. There's also, you produce this whole thing. There's also plenty of space on this for an artist. Like, I don't know if that's the direction. I haven't seen like your whole catalog or anything like that. Like, I don't know how often you release, but like your production structure could absolutely have space for an artist over that. Even with interludes, Nazy, thank you for the follow. Even with like interludes in between, like these beautiful, beautiful sax solos. As an instrumentalist, as a musician, you are just fantastic at your craft, man. It's so smooth. It's so easy. This does not feel like work. It doesn't feel like you're stretching yourself to do what you do. It feels very easy and very natural for you. So, there's definitely space. I don't know if you produce for other artists. I don't know if you sell your productions or anything like that, but there's definitely potential even underneath this saxophone structure. Like the foundation of it is very even. It's mixed really well as well. Like it's balanced well. Those guitars feel modulated and wide and ambient. I love that. Very nice, man. It's like even here, like as you start to wind down a little bit here, this could be an easy fade spot, right? Just as an idea in the future, right? How natural that feels. Like that. It comes back in, and I love that it comes back in because we get more of Hervé's music, which is gorgeous. I love it. But that'd be like a natural inflection point or a natural shift point right there where you could fade out really easily and not have to worry about any hard cuts. But yeah, and I also like the only other thing that I would say is I would love one other counter lead element, right? You do bring in some nice little like crispy, compressed guitars on the right side there that feels really, really nice. That feels white, nice and open. You get a nice split between your more open strumming patterns and like picked patterns on the left side and that kind of brightness and stab over on the right side. It sounds absolutely beautiful. The only thing that I kind of wish I got a little bit more of was like one other lead element to shift energy, to talk back and forth with the what am I saying? The saxophone a little bit as well. Like I would love a little bit more call and response, a little bit more give and take right now. Obviously, as a saxophonist, that is going to be the thing that you do the most of, but it could even just be small moments where you just take away the sax for a while and it doesn't solo and you go back to this boom, 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 the boom, boom. You go back to the bass line and have like one other lead element that comes in for like 4 measures and then saxes back in, right? Like just so the song doesn't start to feel too looped, right? Because you're so talented, like genuinely so incredibly talented, so intentional with the way that you produce this production structure and the way that you build your instrumentation, the way that you push and pull your dynamics. It really sounds beautiful. And so the last thing that I want is for it to be like too stagnant and like too looped and too simple to where there's nothing past 45 seconds that kind of re-grabs your attention. Once that sax comes in and it's beautiful, you've kind of given us everything within that first minute, right? It can be nice for just a second to be able to throw in some little twists and turns in there of just 4 measures of a little bit of a synth that comes in as a lead or a piano, like even, just kind of getting into the, little, I mean, not that, but even just, little like, again, that piano sounds like shit on that, but like even just like a little bit of movement, a little bit of texture in there without the sax for a second. And then when the sax comes back in, it's like a breath of fresh air, right? It's like, it's a little bit of relief that happens. Like, okay, I'm not hearing that same frequency profile for a moment. And I get to like come in with a different instrument just for 4 measures, 2 to 4 measures. And then you're back in. And it feels like a little bit of relief right there. But you're, man, beautifully done. This is amazing. Y'all, please show some love to Hervé. You got 19 monthly listeners, man. 19 monthly listeners. You're wildly talented. I hope you're posting content. I hope you're posting content about the way that you play and stuff. I don't know, and you can let me know as well. Having to pay is lame though. I mean, if you can't play, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. There's never any pressure to submit. This is a paid service. This is not a live music review. It's not a free line and a 5 skip. It's a paid service. So if I wasn't on here doing this as a paid service, I would just be working on other music stuff that I'm working on all throughout the day. Spend about 7-8 hours today working through client projects. Then I try to hop on for a couple hours to do some consultations live on stream. People can submit for that if they want to, or they can. And if they don't, we get off and I keep working on other projects. But yeah, just because you can't do something doesn't make it lame. It just means that you're not able to do that. The way that we structure the live stream is hopefully that everybody in here can still learn something from the process. Like I said, we go about 30 minutes per breakdown, sometimes more, as y'all know. Sometimes longer than 30 minutes per consultation for the artist, producer, musician, whoever it may be, in order to offer some actionable feedback and really get into the details and nuances of what you're doing. And the goal is that even if you're never submitting, even if you're just hanging out in the chat, even if you're just chilling in the chat, the goal is that maybe I'm talking about something that someone else in the chat can also find valuable when they're building out the structure of their own music. Whether we're listening to an artist who's on the board, who has harsh sibilants and has issues, processing high end in their vocal, and someone else is also dealing with that, where they can actually learn from it. Everyone has money. Not me. That's for one. False, for sure, false. Everyone has money. It's not that I can't pay. I just wouldn't pay for that. Yeah, perfectly fine. I would absolutely hate for anybody to pay for something that they don't find valuable. There's plenty of things out there that maybe are just a higher priority to you that you don't find valuable, that you don't need. That's perfectly fine. I understand completely. And there's a lot of other people that have found it incredibly valuable. So that's the structure of the stream. But y'all show some love, man. Show some love to Hervé. Show some love to Hervé, man. You're really, really, really talented. Yeah, I don't want anybody to pay for anything that they don't find valuable. I think personally that would be. I don't pay for anything I don't find valuable. So I would hate for anyone else to do that. So that's the whole structure. But y'all, please show some love to Hervé. Hervé, you're amazing. You're amazing. And again, like I said, I hope that you have. I'm assuming you don't have a ton of content, just based on based on your streaming numbers. I'm assuming you haven't promoted a lot, at least with this particular track, which came out last year. I would love to see you push a little bit more, man, because there's so much commercial opportunity for what you're doing. There's so much like clientele opportunity as a session musician. You could be hired as a session musician. You could be hired as a producer. You could be hired to actually build like top line structure with the saxophone for like sync projects. Like you could get some work, man. I don't know if you do. Maybe that's what you do full time. I have no idea. But like you could absolutely get some movement for what you're doing, man. So please keep chipping away at the process because you're talented, man. Very, very, very talented. All right, let's keep it going. We've got Nicole. I just got yours, Nicole. For any of the other time review I've seen here, Nicole, that means so much. And I just saw your notification. I appreciate you so much. That love means a lot. Let me get you up on the board right now. Let me get you up here and let's keep the music going. I'm going to try to move at a better pace. I know I started out a little bit slow because I was dealing with some audio issues or whatever. Hopefully it's kind of worked itself out. And if it hasn't, it's just whatever. Who cares? It just is what it is. And internet's weird sometimes. But man, show some love. Okay, I am going to start. I'm going to start making some adjustments to the line, y'all, because we are getting towards the tail end of the live here. So let me I've got to get Jaya. Let me see. Let me see. I appreciate you. Y'all are amazing. Thank y'all for the love. Nicole, I'm so excited. I can't wait. All right, let me update a few things here. Is it Owie? Am I saying? I can't see the line. I can't see my other screen from that good. Yes, I got you. So let me get some things updated here. So let me just make sure I have everybody where they need to be. And then I do need to update the line and update the minimums here since we're getting towards the end. I just had a bunch of people come in. So let me get this updated. Oh, I already got Nicole in here. What am I doing? My brain, y'all. My brain today. It's not having it. Okay. Blue, I got you. I'm going to put you on here as Jaya because that's how I know you. I got you. Beautiful. Perfect. Always fun when we get a Jaya track. Boom, 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 boom. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. As soon as you open your recording studio, I'm moving to Texas. I mean, it's open. It's here. It's just in my house or in the house that we're renting. It's here. Yeah, but I wouldn't put moving to Texas on the line because as soon as you move here, I'm probably going to move out. I'm out. I'm tired of Texas, man. No, if you live in Texas, whatever, it's fine. It's what it is. But I've lived in Texas my entire life. San Antonio in particular, but was in Dallas for a couple years. Had a studio up there. It's not for me. It's not the vibes. It's not the vibes I'm on. Okay, let's see. Jaya, Zach, Nicole, McKay, Nova, Extra. I've got y'all. I think where you need to be. You still live in Huntsville. Is everything really bigger in Texas? Including egos, yes. Including many, many structural and infrastructural issues, yes. Including political problems, yes. Everything is bigger in Texas. All right, sorry, side note, TikTok, don't ban me. Let me just get myself organized here because I got a couple things coming in. I gotta. The line is over on the other platforms, but I got you, McKay. Just like it says, you probably read it in the form, but just like it says in the form, if you got to leave for any reason at all, I'll get you saved to my list. So I'll get your credit and your name saved over to the side. Literally anytime that you come in, whether it's tomorrow or 5 days from now or 2 weeks from now, it doesn't matter to me. Just let me know that you're here. I'll throw you straight back up on the board. In fact, like Zach and a couple other people on the board today are from like a couple days ago and stuff like that. So I got you completely. I'm going to keep you where you're at on the board until the end of the night, just in case you come back in or just in case, you're able to get played. You're, I think, fourth in line right now. But regardless, I'll get you saved no matter what. That way you're set and ready to go next time. I just got to make sure that my list is caught up here. Okay. Jaya, Zach, Nicole, McKay, Nova, Extra, Andrew, Soul Medicine, Bobby. That's where I'm at right now. Am I missing anybody? Just let me know. Let me know if y'all are. If you did not hear your name and you think you're supposed to be up there, let me know. Nova's here. Yeah, I got you. Periwinkle, thank you for the follow. Hey, no worries, Nova, I got you. And just a quick reminder as well that these are all saved. These are all saved to the Red app as well. Sounds good. Sounds good, Blue. These are Captain Wisco, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. These are saved to the Red app as well. So if you want to look at these VODs, if you want to go back and reference a live stream to, reference some notes to send to your engineer or for you to work through later so you can just kind of be present in the stream, then those are all over on the Red app as well. Every single stream is saved. Thank you for the roses, Ryan. I appreciate that a lot. And welcome from Indonesia. I appreciate you tapping in. We got a couple people from Indonesia. Zoe, thank you for the follow. I really appreciate that. Okay, we're gonna jump into some music. I'm still waiting on. I think I'm still waiting on Blue's song actually. So Blue. And let me update a few things too. I gotta update minimums because I got just a few tracks left, y'all. Just a few tracks left. So please keep your eyes and ears on one of the other platforms as well, so y'all can see the line. So you can see the line. The line is on the other platforms that we're live on right now. We're live on 2 other platforms. So you can go and check those out on the Red or Purple app. That way you can see. Hey. There's Blue. Blue, did you send in the email, Blue? I don't see it. I don't see it. I know those platforms. What's up, Grady? Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing fabulous today. Nicole, I've got your email. Extra Tone, I've got your email. Zach, Logan. That's Nova. Sorry for the Govey. McKay. Katie. Ryan, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate that a lot. And thank you for the roses. That means a lot to me. Okay, I'm just waiting for the email to come in yet. Katie, beautiful. Perfect. I appreciate you tapping in. Oh, I'm running out of keyboard. I need more keys. Dun, 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 dun. Can you play Giant Steps? I don't know if I know it. I'd probably play it by ear. And then Katie, I did just get your email. I don't think I have a full submission yet, but I do have your email. Do you know how to transition from E flat harmonic minor to like a B flat minor? E flat harmonic minor. Okay, so you're. So what I would just go down. So walking through, if you're going to walk through. Yeah, it's not showing up for some reason, Jaya. You would probably just want to like resolve, and it depends on the song structure and stuff like that, but you could just resolve on the B flat. So if you're going to go through like walking down, I mean, that's technically like a pretty smooth transition into a B flat minor. The other thing you could play off is one easy way would be to like resolve on like a B flat major. If you resolve on a B flat major, just as an example, let's say you're in the key of F major. I'm gonna go down an octave, F major. Right, depending on the song structure and depending on like the production style, you could end on the B flat minor, and I could transition you into just the key of B flat minor, right? Like off of the F. You can skip me for today, then try to do it tomorrow. I'm sure why it's not sending. Well, we can get you. Take your time. Take your time. Don't worry about it. I can always move to someone and then just keep yourself in here. Ryan, thank you for the roses. I appreciate it. I mean, there's a bunch of different ways you could connect it. Yeah, you could do the F7, and then you're talking about the B flat 9. but they're running the harmonic minor, that's a little. So there's a lot of different ways to connect it for sure. Yeah, I don't know why it's not popping up. Just double check things are sent in and stuff like that. Oh, I see what you're saying. Flatten the 9. Flatten the 9 on the F7 is what you're talking about. And then yeah, flat. So you're flat 9. This just sounds beautiful regardless of how we walk into it. Okay. I got you. All right, let's keep it moving and then keep trying. If it's a wave or something, just drop it in a different way. Zach, hop in the chat. Just make sure Zach is here really quick. And then we'll keep it going. And y'all, I'll probably close up the line here in just a little bit. There's Zach. Okay, Zach, we're gonna move straight to yours. Working on this one. It's KT. I do have your email, but I don't have a full submission. So if you did do a full submission, let me know where it went to. If you didn't, just definitely make sure that you read through all of the steps. So go to my profile, click on the link, start at the top, and then just read through the steps to submit. Not just the email. Make sure you read past the email. That way I can make sure that I get you in line with everyone else, because I've got probably another 12 people in that line, which can move around. People move, they can skip. Some people aren't here. But I want to make sure, is it Jesus? Jesus, thank you for the pop. Thank you for the pop, the 20 pops. Jesus, thank you for the pops. I appreciate that. I appreciate you a lot. Yeah, absolutely, Katie, 100%. Yeah, I just want to make sure, because I'm usually notified. If you do follow all the steps, I'm usually notified, and I can get you up on the board straight away with everyone else. I just want to make sure that's clean. Richie thanks for popping in. All right, let's get into this Zach track here. This is Beat. He's been working on this one. It's short for right now as I flesh it out. It's a beat/melody. I revisited and changed, made it more simple. Okay, so is this only instrumental right now? Thank y'all for tapping in. I appreciate y'all being here today. Thank y'all for joining the stream. We're getting ready to close the line here in just a little bit. If y'all are wanting to submit, please check the line first on the red or purple app. The other streams that we are live on right now, you can find those at my profile if you click on the link, or you can use your imagination and understand what those apps mean, the other ones that we're live on right now. But go check the line and the minimums over there, just because it has changed based on how many tracks that I have left. So I want to make sure that that's clear as well. All right, let's keep it running. This is Beat. This is what it is called so far by Zach Angel right here in the chat. Let's go, Zach. Boom, boom. Let's go. Thank you for the follow. Is it Angel Rage, I think? Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that a lot. Okay, I like that little wah. Smooth. What's up, Dan the Band? Welcome in, man. Oh, that's very short and sweet. That's very, very short and sweet. Let's run it back. This is literally a minute of a production. So let's dive in. Let's dive in. We don't take any boxes for this live stream, but I really appreciate you being here, though. I hope you hang out for a little bit, see what we're all about, listen to some great music, some amazing independent artists and producers and stuff in here. Christopher Jackson, yes. If you do want to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, and then read through and follow all the details there. But I would suggest that you check the line first on the other platforms that we're live on. We're live on 2 other platforms where you can see the line, order, and minimums. Those are all at my link as well. That way you can kind of see where we're at. We're towards the tail end of the live, so the submissions are just a little bit higher, but you absolutely still can get heard today. It's just completely up to y'all's capacity and your timeline and stuff like that. I'm going to listen to probably 3 more songs after this. About 3 more songs after this. Anybody that does not get heard that is on the board will be saved for the next live stream. All right, this is Beat by Zach Angel. Let's get into it, man. I mean, sound design I already really like. The acoustic guitar is not my favorite, so I want to dive into some of the structural things right here to make sure that everything, like we always talk about, the term that I always use is everything's pointed in the right direction. Like there's nothing like you have this really cool drum sound and a really funky auto wah guitar that sounds beautiful, and then something that like makes it too smooth and even and too connected where you lose the funk. you lose some of that pop and some of that swing because something glued it together too much, right? So that's kind of what I want to dig into, right? Is this making sure that all of the production elements are pointed in the right direction. Aloe, thank you so much. I hope I'm saying that correctly. I might not be, but thank you for the follow. I really appreciate that. Let's run it from the top. It's all simple, and I'm thinking having a vocal single go with the guitars melody. I want to write, but I don't know yet since I may leave that for the artist. Beautiful. Yeah, I like it. My gut reaction. So this is off C minor, right? So you have this. Right? I like it. Like, I love it. I would love to hear a repetition of the bass line because that is a nice little lead in. Right? Like that little lead in right there. Yeah. All right, let me back it up a little bit. Let me double check for you real quick. I always get your emails. So I don't know why I wouldn't. Hasn't come in yet, but it might just be in the ether. It might just be in the ether, Snow. No, not Snow, Blue. I'm getting people confused. I'm looking at too many different names right now. It might be in the ether right now. So we'll hang it there for a minute, and if we can get back around to it, we will. If not, it'll come in tonight for some reason, and then we'll throw it up on the board next time if we can. All right, let me get back to the track here real quick. But yeah, I don't know why it hasn't come in yet. What's the best sound processor for you to recommend for streaming? Like in what capacity? What kind of sound processor are you talking about? Like audio interface? Boom, boom. Like I like that. Boom. Little bit of swing, little bit of spunk. Like you moved in this case to the C minor to G minor, right? So C minor to G minor. Yeah, oh, you're talking about spam. No, it's not in spam. I checked spam. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, I checked. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, I would love, so something to keep in mind, right? Something I would keep in mind. I would love to hear like that lead in from the bass no matter where you move, right? So, oh yeah, absolutely. We are getting ready to close the line here in just a little bit. So like right now we have this beautiful boom, 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 you know what I mean? Like I want that same lead in because that lead in to me, that initiates your swing. That like initiates the energy that comes into the production structure early on. Boom, 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 you know, boom, boom, boom. Back to the G minor. Boom, you know, like keeping that same boom, 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 dun, 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 to like create the same energy in the bass. I think is really valuable. Otherwise, it gets like a little too static after that. It's like dun, 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 great lead in line. And then you just have like these like, you know, eighth notes, the whole, or, you know, like quarter notes, like the whole time for the rest of that progression, instead of hearing any other like bass movement that kind of matches the feel. I don't follow Eurovision. I've like seen some stuff, but I'm not very closely at all. Thank you, Katie. I appreciate it. They don't want you to win, Blue. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I think it just needs a little bit, right? Like. Just like a little bit more movement on the bass. You know, like just a little bit more movement, a little bit like more variation in the bass line. And then again, this is short. This is like a minute long. So we're going to move fairly quick through this one. I love that guitar, by the way. Like, I think that's fantastic. That's that. Bow, 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 bow. I love it. The auto-wah is beautiful. Totally, I think it's doing what it's supposed to do. I think it's a great addition to the mix as you start to build out your production structure. I think that's a great addition right there. Let's back it up a little bit because I do want to hear Many takes again. No, I love it. And I love that I love this pulled off the grid a little bit. There's a little bit of swing to it, which is really nice. There's your secondary guitar, right? Okay, so in my opinion, and again, there's a lot of different ways. Court, thank you for the follow. There's a lot of different ways that you can build out your production structure right here. The thing that I'm kind of imagining right here is when you fill in the second rhythm structure. Katie, thank you for the follow. When you add in, a little old westerny, it's like, wow. It's got a little Western feel to it too. I could imagine like this is not exactly in line, but kind of a Sinners type movie that's kind of period piece with modern music. Like think of what like Sinners and Bridgerton and stuff has done with like modern music and period piece settings, right? I could see something like this, not exactly, but something like that. You bring in like I have a resonant guitar over here. You bring in a resonant, I want to pull it out kind of, but it's not set up right now. You bring in like a resonant acoustic right here with a slide and get really bluesy with it. There's a lot of, the movie. Yeah, the movie. If that's kind of the vibe, you could have a ton of potential here. In my opinion, the kind of folky strum that comes on the right side, right? It's panned over to the right. That strum to me, it like evens things out too much. It's too like smooth and indie, and the rest of this is kind of funky and it's soulful and it's got some edge to it. I like it. I think the drums, the sound design, I don't love the snare. There's something about the snare that feels, even though it actually might be, it feels like too splice sampley, even if it is, right? It feels like I feel like I know that snare and like I know what it's doing. I don't know exactly what the nuance to that is, but it feels like a little bit too direct for me. What's up, Cameo? Good to see you, man. I hope you're doing amazing. I would love for that to have a little bit more beef to it. I would love for that to feel a little bit stronger, a little snappier. So you can kind of dig into the sound design choices there too. But this guitar on the right side, to me, it's like a little smooth and it's a little like too open for what like at least my brain wants to feel right now. I would rather you match the chord with the bass. I would just match the piano. So if you have you know what I'm saying? Like just and then in between you have you know what I mean? Like you have the other kind of wah guitar in the background. Apologize for my lazy guitar beatboxing, which I know sounds fabulous and you can sample it. But you have this like wah in the background, but like that rhythm guitar is doing what the rhythm guitar should do. And you don't need to fill in gaps here because you want swing, you want punch, you want a little bit of drive. You don't necessarily need to like even it out that much or fill in too many gaps because you want a boom, like you want some energy, you want some swing. If it's too precise, or not even too precise, but like, excuse me, too on the nose and you're filling too many of the gaps, then you'll actually lose the punch that you're kind of fighting for by putting the drums that way, doing the bass line and stuff like that. Excuse me. I know. Hopefully, man, I've been working like great and like nonstop. I hope we're able to connect at least at some point. That'd be hopefully soon. That'd be cool. I'm going to toss this out there. I also think that this could be like 8 BPM faster, 12 BPM fast. I'm going to throw like right now it's very boom, 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 right? Boom, 2, boom, 2, boom, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. I mean, this could boom, 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 boom. Like I kind again, this is a stylistic choice. Feel free to ignore it, but I'm lagging a little bit. It's so slow that the other guitar helps kind of smooth it out a little bit, which I think takes away some of the punch. But I do think you could also probably speed this up by like 8 BPM and give it a little more energy, a little bit more life. I think it'll be easier for a vocalist to like hear where they should sit over this because it's so slow and it's so spread out that I do think it's kind of challenging to like how would I write a verse over this that also has energy? Because otherwise, what you dictate with your production structure is what's going to make the vocal feel what they feel, and then that's going to translate to the audience, right? So if the vocal feels like this is too open, it's too broad, like then the people that are actually listening to the song as well as consumers of the song are also going to feel like this song lags, like it's slow, like it's missing some energy, and there's not a ton the vocalists can do about that. They'd have to really, really lock in. So that'd be another recommendation is play around with tempo as well. Yeah, play around with it. I mean, you'd be surprised at the magic that happens. I've seen this with so many different artists and so many other musicians that I've worked with where we're like, man, this vocal sounds good, but I wonder if this vocalist could actually hit the second octave or if we just drop the whole thing by 2 semitones. And like, right, oh, shout out to MCR. Shout out to MCR. That's a fantastic song. The magic that can happen by changing BPM and changing like your key. There's songs that like they might feel pretty good, and then all of a sudden you speed it up by 6 BPM and you go up 2 semitones. You're like, oh my God, this is magic. This is so different. The vocal's in a better register. There's more confidence in the high octave. The low register doesn't feel too breathy. Like you'll see so many things happen just by shifting energy, right? And shifting energy by changing actually your like production structure, changing the BPM, changing the key and stuff like that. Sounds good. Sounds good. Sounds good. Has so many things including it's crazy. It's crazy, right? So I challenge you to change a little bit of that too. Let me hear the outro here really quick. This is quick. Even Skip, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. And then the fade out here. Yeah, now we just need some more moments. We need a little bit more going on in the production structure. Edvin, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you a lot as well. Y'all give it up one time. Give it up one time for the family. Zach Angel right here in the chat, man. I appreciate you so much. Mark, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that a lot as well. Show some love to Zach Angel. I love the foundation of this, right? I think the snare could be reworked a little bit. It's fallen a little bit flat. I think it could be a little bit more pointed. Thank you for the you're awesome, Mark. I appreciate it. It could be a little bit more pointed, a little bit more drive, a little more snap behind it. And then I think the other acoustic or electric guitar you have in the background, smoothing things out, would be better accenting and complementing the rest of the movement than filling in the gaps between. And then same thing like with that bass line, right? I think more movement in the bass line as transitions is better. Now you can keep it sharp, boom, boom, boom. Keep this sharp, right? Boom, 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 boom. But make sure your transitions have boom, 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 boom. Give it some life, give it some movement that feels a little bit more interesting as well. You also still love to Zach. Zach, love and appreciate you, man. Thank you for sending this in. I'm trying to do a good job of moving at a good pace, y'all. Sometimes it doesn't always work, but we're moving. We're moving. Jay, I got both of yours. I guess they finally came in. It finally came in. I got you. Sounds good, man. That's the life. We got Blue in the building. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. Dun, dun, dun. And then Katie, just really quick. I still don't have a full submission for you, so just I do have an email. I do have the email. Dude, it's so catchy. It's stuck in my head. I do have the email, but just make sure that you did follow all of the steps. That way I can get you up there. And then make sure you check the line first if you need to. Edvin, thanks for tapping in today. We got Jay in the building. I'm going to try to move through these last, I think like 2 songs. Okay, if you did, where'd you send credit? Because I haven't seen it. Let me know where you sent the credit so I can make sure I look that up too if you did send it. Boom, boom, boom. It might be on another platform. Sometimes it doesn't notify me. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Just so you only sent the email? Let me know if you only sent the email. And then Jaya, we're gonna pull this up. Made this last year. I've kind of been gatekeeping most of my beats to myself only because it was just something I did for fun. I'm talking fast. We're moving fast. I got dinner to make. I got things to do. But I just wanted to know your thoughts. I wanted to get back into my beat making bag so I get these songs out. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let's dive in. This is Inspector by Jaya Lewis, one of the family in here. I love and appreciate you. Let's dive in. Let's dive in. Let's dive in. I'm going to go ahead and real quick. So let's see. We got 2 more. Two more tracks. So I'm going to go ahead and close the line, y'all. Lewis, thank you for the follow. I really appreciate it. Okay, so then you missed the second step. You missed the second step. So yeah, just make sure, because the reason why is I want everyone to make sure that they really understand the structure of the live, because if they miss something, then people get confused, and I want to try to mitigate as much confusion as possible. So just make sure that after that first step of sending the email, that you read the whole thing, so you understand kind of the structure of the live stream, the submission process, credit, and all of that stuff. No, you're totally good. Don't be sorry. You're totally fine. I just want because then people get confused, and I wrote a whole form. There's an FAQ. There's a terms of service, just in case there's more and more and more confusion. I want everyone to be as clear as possible, so that it's not confusing at all. Okay, let's get it, Jaya. Let's run this back from the top. Last two songs, so we're gonna go ahead and close the lines, y'all. I will probably be. I don't know if I'll be live on. I'll double check if I'm going to be live tomorrow. I'm not positive. Maybe for a little bit. Welcome back, Jenna. I'll probably be on. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. I'll probably be on for a little bit tomorrow. I'm not positive on time though. I need to double check a couple things. But let's get into it. I'm going to go ahead and close up the line. So anyone who is in line, you can move yourself around if you would like to. You can move faster. You can skip stuff like that. But we will be closed to new submissions. Just make sure y'all are following, and we'll open up the lines again another day, either tomorrow or the day after. Let's go, Jaya. I got you, KT. It kind of depends. It depends on where you put yourself, right? You can go faster. It's just more, right? That's why I tell people to check the list. I tell people to like check the line first. You can check the. I know you were trying to submit like an hour ago, so I can leave some leeway for the fact that you thought you were submitting like an hour ago. But make sure you check the line first. So the line is on the other platforms that we're live on right now, because we're live on 3 different platforms right now. So on the red app and purple app, you can always see the line. It also shows the minimums and how many songs that we have left. So in order to be heard right now, today is it's a little bit higher because I only have time for a couple songs. And so like I'm on my last, I only have, I think, one more after this. So yeah, I don't know what the issue is, Jenna. It's weird. It just keeps doing that. After the next song. After the next song. So we have 2 songs, this one and one more. Everyone else will be saved for the next live stream. Yeah. So if you want to save it for then, KT, I see KT, whatever. I will probably be on for a bit tomorrow. So yeah, and anyone who's left over, I've got a detailed list of y'all's name and credit, and I'll get y'all saved, ready to go. In fact, let me go ahead. I'm going to do this too. So Nicole, you're going to close this out. So for McKay, let me know if McKay is in here. McKay and Nova, boom. Okay, Nova, extra. I'm going to drop, I'm not positive. Taking us home, Nicole, let's go. So let me check these names really quick. So Nicole, you're going to close this out. McKay, Nova, and Extra. Those are the next 3 that I have on the list. I'm going to go ahead and give 5 in credit to each of y'all. So all of y'all were 10s. I'm going to put all of y'all at 15, so that the next time you come in, you hopefully, I know because y'all been very patient. I want to make sure you have a little bit of a step up. You can get a little bit of a boost. Hopefully that helps you out just a little bit, and gets you ahead of a couple people in the line next time y'all come in. I know it's hard sometimes when you get saved or you think you're next. You've been waiting for 2 hours and stuff like that. Zach, thank you for the galaxy, man. Zach, I appreciate you. Y'all show some love to Zach in the chat. Zach, thank you for the galaxy, man. That means more than you know. More than you know. Thank you for your generosity, man. But yeah, so Nova, Extra, and McKay, I dropped y'all 5 extra credits. So you'll all have 15. Jesus, what the fuck? Yeah, 15 that'll be saved. Jenna, I'm not positive. I need to look at my schedule. I just got an email in with a stack of like 50 tracks for a client's mix I got to get into tomorrow. And I think I have some other stuff going on this weekend too. So I'm not positive. I'm going to try to be live. I just don't know exactly when. Okay, Jaya, let's get into it. I appreciate y'all's patience though. So I wanted to get y'all that extra 5 to hopefully that helps out the next time we're live too. I like this, Jaya. This is cool. Usually early afternoon Central Time. A little bit later today. I got you, Blue. little tape stop there too, a little Vera speed. It's a nice little arpeggio in the background. I got you, Katie. So I'm gonna get yours, and I'll go ahead and add 5 to yours, Katie, because I did that with everyone else. Y'all show some love. Show some love to Jaya right here in the chat. I just got you. So let me get you saved to my to the list already, Katie, and I'm gonna go ahead and add 5 to yours as well. I did that with everyone else who I have to hold on to help them out the next time we go live. Hopefully, it gives you a little bit of a boost. It gives you a little bit of a lift next time. That way you get a little bit of a boost on the board, and hopefully that's a bit helpful. So let me get you added here really quick. Of course. It's the least I can do. I know sometimes it can be disappointing when you're not going to get heard. So I try to help out if I can. Okay, so I got you on my list. So yeah, now McKay, Nova, Extra, and KT, you'll all have 5 extra. You got 15 now. Beautiful. Okay, Jaya, let's get into it. I'm from the UK. What kind of times do you go? Sorry, I can't think right now. Do you go live? Just so I know. I'm Central Time, so I'm in Central United States. So Central Time for me, and it's usually, I would say, typically around like 2 or 3 p.m. Central Time. So whatever that would translate to you, whatever, like 14 hours ahead, right? Something like that. Maybe like 10, 14 hours ahead. So yeah, 2, 3 p.m. Central Time ish. Usually, kind of depends on I do these lives. I do these lives after I finish all of my other projects, right? So I'll typically work on all of my mixes and production clients and any sessions that I have booked for that day. I'll finish up all of that work, and then I'll go live for anywhere from like 2 to 4 hours. Today's probably about 2.5 hours, 2:45, something like that. So it just kind of depends on how and when I finish up those projects. But yeah, I would say it's typically early afternoon Central Time. All right, Jaya, let's get into it. This is Inspector by Jaya. Let's dive in. You could probably you're talking about like structure and stuff like this for this one too. So you're in A minor. Okay, no, not too bad. Not too crazy late or anything like that. You're in A minor, right? So I believe, yeah. And I like it. You have a lot of great movements in your progression here. It could be nice to have like a little bit of a lead in here. Like this already sounds like a hook to me. Like when you're here, I already feel like we're like halfway through the song, right? It could be nice to start with this like higher octave. And then maybe bring in the strings. Like you could start really easy with the piano. You could bring in like the cellos and the strings in there, and then maybe even go into like the spiccatos that you have in there, Like you could boost the energy a little bit and then have a little bit of a swell and then and like bring in this extra energy, like the bass comes in. You could bring a sub bass, even you have like an alternating sequence with the bass, like right, you're kind of bringing in the low energy right there. You could bring in like a sub bass underneath that just holds kind of like the low A, like maybe an octave lower than the other bass, and then bring in the extra drums and extra strings. I think like a little bit more structure would be helpful, right? So that this doesn't feel like, oh, boom, we're right here in the middle of the song, but could actually use a little bit more like nuance and a little bit more of a journey to the dynamics as opposed to just jumping straight. Again, this is like we were talking about with like chopping songs at the end or fading at the end and resolving. Like this really depends on the song. It really depends on the beat. In my opinion, it's a little abrupt, just jumping straight into it. Yeah, exactly. But if we just lean into it, that's pretty. That's a pretty melody. You build that up. Cello. It's beautiful. I love it. And that's your melody, right? Like, I love it. Like bringing the cello nice and slow. And then little pizzicato or spiccato, like, different variations of strings, and then like it started to bring the drums after that. It's really beautiful. So I think what this needs is just right now we're here. Right now it's just 3, 2, 1, go. And we're here, right? I would love to get here. I would love to like have a little bit more of a journey to lead into it and then make this like your hook. You bring down the dynamics a little bit later on and then go back into a hook. I think you can have a little bit more ebb and flow here and you'll be golden. Yeah. Sound design wise, I really like it. It needs, like, it's pretty dry right now. Like, I think it needs a little bit of control. It's a little bit direct, so it needs a little bit of automation to ebb and flow the dynamics and the velocity a little bit. It's a little bit on the nose right now. But that being said, I do think the actual sound design that you have here has a ton of potential. So lean into it, right? This has a lot of, it's like, boom, we're right here. So I feel like if you can lean into it just a little bit, if you can like start to automate the dynamics of that, of the strings a little bit more so it ebbs and it flows and it pushes and it pulls. And then on the piano doesn't feel like it's stuck at 100, 100-point velocity the whole time. It's gonna, as opposed to that change in velocity of like accenting certain notes, right? Having a little bit of like velocity range, dynamic range, automation range, that's going to help a lot with this, like feeling more real and natural and interesting. As opposed to it being a little bit dry, a little bit quantized, a little bit on the nose. It's like a little bit too rigid. I think now that your foundation is here, you can play around with it. You can mess around with it a little bit, but I do think the foundation is great. Now that the beat is there, the sound design's there, now work on automation, work on processing, like, ambiance, and then work on structure. How do you intro? How do you create a hook, verse, hook, stuff like that? But yeah, I mean, the structure here is great. The structure here is really, really nice. And then here, I would almost love to like cut bass here for a second or move to a different little pluck or something like that keeps your bass line right here. Because I love this energy, but it feels too big. I want this, I want it to feel like tighter, a little bit more intimate. Like right now, it's still so like big and washy that that you don't really get the dynamic range. It doesn't really like close in anymore. It still feels like really pretty powerful. And so I would love to maybe like cut the bass right there and let the strings handle your progression change. And then maybe like bring things a little bit tighter and a little bit closer right there. Like maybe like right now you still have, you have these like a really high, like, bright string over the top, and you could probably cut that. Maybe honestly, the bass isn't super low. Let's say, I'm going to imagine something. Let's say you have that bass there most of the time, but you add in a sub bass for that hook, right? Like, let's imagine like this first part, you add a sub bass. What I would do then is if you're going to keep this, like, you're going to keep that bass line in the middle right there, keep that, pull the sub bass and pull the top strings, but keep that middle bass in there. I just want to hear like that middle bass and like your, just take out the legato ones. So those legato ones are really loud and they're interrupting, my loose opinion, right? They're interrupting the groove change that you have. So you have this beautiful change in like staccato and the strings right here. That movement right there, that staccato is beautiful. I love it. So much about that I think is fantastic. It's a great shift in energy. It's a great shift in dynamics, but it still feels really big and loud, partially because of the high strings right there, right? I love this, not that, ignore all of that, but that part, right? That sequence, that arpeggio in the background, chef's kiss, love it, beautiful, fantastic. It's getting drowned out. That staccato, that movement, that vibe change right there is getting drowned out by like these big strings over the top, right? Those really bright ones, just like bring all of that down and let like the congas and like the percussion and those string staccatos, let them do all the heavy lifting right there, like bass strings, like the spiccatos in the background right there that you can hear. I love it. Love everything about it. So take away anything there that would distract from that. So whether that's legato strings and they just need to be 7 dB quieter, just as a glue, you can kind of figure out kind of what that means for you. But I love those staccato strings. So I want them to be forward. Like I want that to be a main thing that we feel because it feels so cool right there. I don't mind. You have a tape stop right there, like a Verispeed, or you might even just be doing a pitch wheel. I'm not sure, right? It depends on the plugin and how that plugin takes to pitch shifting. That kind of to me, I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Again, it's pretty dry. It's pretty dry. But it does pull me out of like, you have organic percussion, strings, piano, like a finger bass, that it kind of pulls me out of that a little bit into like a DJ stop, right? Or like a tape stop. I kind of wish that was either just a natural pitch shift or like a portamento from a synth or something like that. Using the strings and then tape stop, yep, it's the pitch wheel. Okay, so that particular plugin, just when it's pitch shifting, it has a lot of formant shift, right? So instead of just doing duh, right, like instead of just the pitch changing from duh, you hear, you know what I mean? Like you get this, you get the formant shift that's happening on the way down. That doesn't sound the best to me because it sounds kind of fakey, right? It sounds like a digital artifact, and it sounds a little bit more. Don't even worry about it. Katie, literally, I have heard a voice memo that someone sent me in a Starbucks booth. They were humming a melody and said, hey, can you help me build chords over this? And we spent 30 minutes breaking it down. Don't even worry about that. I have heard Grammy-winning musicians in here, and I have heard like the simplest of the simplest. So I don't want you to worry about that. And it depends on the live, right? Some lives people will come in and we'll have like 8 phenomenal, like really like award-winning stuff. And then we'll have a live where it's like a lot of stuff that needs a lot of work, right? It literally just depends on the live. We'll go from one to the other, right? There has literally been a live where we had voice memos straight into like a Billboard charting producer. It's going to be a little bit all over the place, which I love. I love because there's no ego in it, right? Like people are, the way that we structure this live stream, people aren't typically coming in to brag, and they're also not typically coming in to like troll and roast, right? People come in just humble. People come in just like wanting to collaborate, wanting to communicate with y'all. They come in wanting to gain tools, get another ear on their music. Like it's a very like normal space. I like it a lot. Like I do my best to not come in with like any ego and any like, I'm not here to try to like roast y'all to tear you down so y'all think I'm cool or something. I just couldn't care less about that kind of stuff. I just hope that it's a valuable space for people. And I think because we've done this live for over 3 years in this context, where we have done this live stream in this capacity to just offer as much value as possible. And because of that, most people don't come in here with that ego. They don't come in here being like, I'm better than everybody. Here's why. And then they send in. Usually the people with like that amount of ego don't value actually what we do here, so they never send in. And so anyways, I just want to mitigate, hopefully alleviate some of the pressure. It's always vulnerable when you send your music across the internet. I get it. Like, it's weird to just be like, here's a song I just started working on and I learned piano 3 days ago. That's incredibly vulnerable and terrifying. So I understand it. But my hope is that over the course of people being here a couple times and learning more about the community and just the vibe of how we break things down and why we do it the way that we do, that it hopefully settles a little bit of the nervousness. It's still nerve-wracking. I've sent my music, like I have a very small group of people that I've sent music to that are like, they're like really, really talented engineers and producers and stuff like that. And even just like privately, I'll just send them my music to like double check something I'm having an issue with. And those people, like it's still terrifying for me, and I do this for a living. Like it's still terrifying. Like even there's like so much imposter syndrome. There's so much whatever. Like Torvik and Nightlight when next week the drop Time Mind Nightlights with my face on it. Imagine I'm all talking about like, hey, I've got no ego in this. We're just here to really bring value. And then I'm like, and by the way, I'm dropping a Nightlight with my face on it, guys. Go to the link in my bio. It's crazy. Okay, Jaya. Sorry, it's Manifesta. I think I'll be on tomorrow. I see you, man. I see you. Yeah, I think I'll be on tomorrow. I'm pretty sure. Not positive, but I'm pretty sure. I appreciate you hopping in, man. I see you over there. Because I love all of this right here. I love all of this. The strings on this, they need some automation changes, right? They need some variation so they don't feel static and sterile, right? They do need that. But I like what you're doing. The foundation of this, I think, is really, really good. You just need to lean into it for like 2 hours and you'll be fine. Facts. Coming soon, Sidemind. Coming soon to my TikTok shop link. Just rugs with my face on it. Like that bass, it does go the whole entire time. It does go the whole entire time, and I like that. Or what am I saying? Jesus, I like what it's doing. I just think I do like it. I like what it's doing. I think it's just doing the same thing too much, right? So I just think we need to mitigate the over repetition, right? 4 hours, yeah. Like I think we need to get through a little bit of that repetition right there. Like we need to so maybe for your hook, what we'll call the hook here, right? You have these, like maybe that's your hook, right? And then maybe your verse, you have a boom, boom, boom. Like something different. Ignore that. Do something that feels a little bit more interesting or more engaging to the song. But I think what it is looking for is just a change. So otherwise, the whole song, you're gonna hear, like a low octave of chasing cars for 4 minutes straight. And I think it just needs a little bit of melodic variation and bassline variation for it to still feel punchy. Otherwise, like we mentioned before, with a couple other artists, your brain just adapts. It gets used to that sound pretty quickly. And then it mellows out. And if there's no new information, you do a good job of changing dynamics here. You really do. But on the bass line, if you don't have some variation there, I do think it will start to get run on. It'll start to be like, okay, I need a different progression. I need to, maybe if you start here, and then maybe we need to walk down. Right? Like you keep the same, sequence, but a different melody, and maybe follow from the D minor up off the 2, right? We can shift it a little bit so it doesn't feel too stagnant, right? All right, let's get into this last part here, and then we're going to close up with Nicole's track. Let's go. I appreciate y'all's patience. Thanks for hanging out today, y'all. I like this a lot, though, Jay. I really do. It's really interesting. Your melodies, I think, are really engaging. The string work, I think, is great. Just needs a little bit of polish. Y'all show some love, man. That's the family right there. Show some love to Blue over on the Red app. Then you might also see Blue over here on TikTok as well. They're over on the Red app right now. Yeah, you can do the. Right? You could move around with that progression a little bit and still keep some of the strings over the top, some of your little Rhodes and melodic bits that you have in the background right there. Like there's a ton of potential for you morphing this and changing it into something that feels maybe a little bit more engaging on the bass line. Y'all show some love to the family. That is Jaya Lewis. We love Jaya Lewis. That's one of the family right there. Excuse me, they're not, I don't think they're on TikTok right now. If you are on TikTok, hop over to TikTok just for a second, Jaya. That way the family can follow you, the community can follow you, they can show you some love and support. I'm excited for you, Jaya, to be putting out more music, to be making more productions, to be hearing more of your voice. That makes me so incredibly happy, so incredibly happy. You're on your way to some really quality, polished stuff. And that makes me absolutely thrilled. I mean, I've even just in the last, maybe 6 months that I've known you, 4 to 6 months I've known you, have seen you grow and evolve tremendously. So props to you. You deserve all the props. So y'all show some love. That's Baby Blue right there. That's Jaya. Everybody go follow Baby Blue right there in the chat. Let's keep it going. This is our last one. Nicole, you made it. You made it. Let's see. Let's pull up the track here. All right. Let me read through the email here. Let me know really quick if you would like me to read the email out loud. It's sometimes the longer ones. I just want to make sure if you want me to read it out loud for everyone to hear, or I've had people send stuff that's like, hey, this is like the private meaning behind my song. And I start reading. I'm like, wait, whoops. Maybe I should keep this a little bit low key. But let me know if I can read it to everyone or if you want it to stay. Whoops, there's my voice. I think I like the qualifiers. Okay, sounds good. I know a lot of people are like, hey, unmixed demo. I learned this instrument yesterday. Like it can be helpful for the audience, the listeners to know too. Like here's some context of what we're listening to. I just started learning to write and produce at Christmas time and fresh. Okay, beautiful. And this is the second project I'm working on. It's just the intro, verse, and chorus, but I'm brand new and would love some input as to what is working. Beautiful. What could use improvement and your thoughts on the transition from chorus back to verse? I feel like it's a little abrupt, but would love your ideas. Thank you for listening. Also, it may not be the right volume, so I apologize. Beautiful. I love it. Let's dive into it. Thank you for the context as well. I greatly appreciate Joel's in a bit. What's up, Joel? I hope you're doing fabulous today, man. Good to see you. All right, y'all, let's close it up here. Last one. Excuse me. And then we're out of here. Mud in the Water. All right, this is Mud in the Water by Nicole Gray. So I do believe it is just a intro, verse, chorus. Beautiful. Let me get it downloaded real quick. Fantastic. And then I got to go take care of my allergies. All right. And just been writing and producing since December, since Christmas time, y'all. So this is fresh. This is fresh. We're going to keep that in mind as well. So this is not going to be a mix and master demo with session music. This is going to be fresh. It's going to be early on. So we'll look at it from that perspective, and we'll address it from that perspective as well. All right. Give me a little bit, as we kind of dive into this, give me some context on what are you producing on? What DAW are you using? If you are recording vocals, you said you're writing. So if you are recording vocals, what are you recording vocals into? Give me a little bit of context on kind of what I'm hearing and, what it is. And then we'll of course address some of those things as we go. All right, last song, y'all. GarageBand currently, doing everything with my MIDI controller. Beautiful. Awesome. Okay, beautiful. The road, beautiful. I can see the vision, absolutely. Christopher, thank you for the follow. What kind of artist do you like? Whoa. What the hell was that? Hold on. Hold on a second. Why does this light just go so bright? What the hell's going on? Hold on one second. Is this about to catch on fire? Give me 1 second. Air in the count. Okay, give me 1 second. What the? Am I going to heaven right now? What the heck? All right. Spotlight's on this. Why did the light just go to 100%? Give me 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 second. Jeez, I'm wide enough as it is. What the hell? One moment. Jesus. I thought it was my time, y'all. I thought it was my time to go. And we're back. Oh my God. That freaked me out for a second. Like, I don't know. Matthew, we're closed up, man. We're closed up. I had a couple other people I already had to turn away, but I will most likely be live again tomorrow. But Matthew, it's good to see you. Yeah, I didn't know. I don't know. Cause like when stuff like that happens, you don't know what's going on. So in that moment, I was like, is there a car? Like, is there a light coming through the window? Is it like a car that's about to hit our house or something? What in the world? Okay, well, that was weird. It went from this light next to me went from 25% to 87%. No, and I was in a really trauma dump on y'all. I was in a really bad car accident in 2014 where I was hit from behind at a stoplight from a guy who was texting and driving, and he drove over the back end of my car. Horrible, terrible thing. And anyways, that's what I remember seeing as I'm like having flashbacks. I'm like just light coming at me from behind and then screeching sounds. Anyways, we're good. I'm not really having a trauma response. Let's end it. But that was very strange because this light just literally tripled in brightness in the last like 2 seconds. Okay, we're back. I promise I'm not having like, I'm not gonna like break down and start shaking on the live stream. Okay, let's see. I want to read the artist. But yeah, Matthew, I think we're gonna be on again tomorrow. But yeah, we close it up for today. I want to look up the artist that you, Aaron LeCount. Okay, I'm gonna look it up after I finish listening to this here. Sorry about that interjection there. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, awesome. Let's go. Show some up to Nicole Gray Music in the chat. Show some up. Okay, I want to get some context because here's actually what I'm going to listen to, and I think hopefully this will be the most helpful, is I'm hearing where you're at, a bridge that comes after, but you haven't recorded yet. Okay, perfect, awesome. I'm hearing where you're at, very new to it, right? Which is awesome. I love that so much. Props to you for just diving in and doing it. And GarageBand's great. It's a great place to start. If you ever wanted to update, you could always go to Logic, and that's an easy, fairly affordable way for you to upgrade as well. It's like $200. You never have to update again. It's really nice, as opposed to some of these other DAWs where, like in Pro Tools, I spend $450 a year on Pro Tools, and I do that every year because it's very expensive. Ableton, top level Ableton's like $780, $800. It's expensive. So Logic is a great. Okay, perfect. Yeah, that's an easy way for you to upgrade as well. I lose track of all the things that I mentioned. Okay, so I want to hear, obviously I'm hearing where you are. Let's go, Katie. Shout out to Logic Pro. I love it. And they also have their subscription now. I hate subscriptions with a passion, but they have it and it's cheap. So it's an easy, low barrier to entry as well. You just never get to own it, which that sucks. I would rather just purchase it. Anyways, I'm hearing where you are at really, really early, which gives me a good idea of kind of what you want to do. I want to compare that to like the reference of like an artist that you like. So I'm going to listen to that really quickly. That way I can kind of see like, this is what you're aiming for. This is where you're at. What's the gap there? And how do we bridge that gap in like the sounds that you're trying to choose, the language behind what you need to edit? Because sometimes it's not just that you don't have a good ear for music. I mean, these are all in the right key. They're all in the right timing. Your progressions move together. Like there's an intuition that you have for the music that is lining up. So like, that's good, right? Like it's one thing where like I hear something, I'm like, all of these, like that's in B flat. This is in C sharp. This is in 80 BPM. This loop that you dropped in is a completely different BPM. We got some like ear training work to do foundationally to make sure we're good. What you've put in here works together loosely, right? So that's a great foundation. I love that we're starting there. So now we can kind of, how do we bridge the gap? So give me a second to pull up Aaron. Let me find that name again. I keep losing it. Aaron LeCount. Give me 2 seconds. I want to listen to, so I can kind of see what they do. And just, again, obviously you're not copying them, but just, it gives me an idea of kind of what they do loosely. Oh, so he's crushing it. 1.4 million monthly listeners. Jamzilla, it's only for like half the people here. I don't know why. I actually don't know why. Thank you for the follow. I'm not going to say your name, but thank you for the follow. Even if it is actually your name, just for TikTok's TOS. I don't know. It's only quiet for like a couple people. Like 20 people have come in saying that it's really quiet, and then for everyone else, it's fine. So I literally don't know why. All right, let me hear. Right? Yeah, it's kind of like moody, dark, alternative pop.
I believe.
Do you like Aurora? I could, based on liking this, I wonder. That's another crossover. Sampled, stuff like that. It gets dancey? Let's go. I don't want to get too many strikes, but you've never heard of Aurora? You should probably hear Aurora. Maybe a little bit of a different vibe, but they're pretty dope. Okay, this gives me a good idea of just like the sound design, right? Like just the sound design that you're looking for. I would describe it as like it's dark, it's alternative, it's moody, it's very atmospheric. A lot of like a lot of the sounds that you're gonna hear, these are auto panned, heavily reverbed, and slap delays over ocean noises. Very atmospheric. Yeah, really angelic, right? Like it's very spacey. It's very atmospheric. So what we want to look at in yours, and you want your sonic identity, but I'll be honest with you, it takes time to gain a sonic identity, right? Like to really like have the language and the skills to hear what you want to happen and what you put in the DAW is the same thing. That takes a lot of time. Like even for me as like an instrumentalist or as like a musician, like it took me a long time as a synth player, as like a keys player, to be able to be like, I want this brassy Juno like synth. And then now I know how to go to the Juno, excuse me, and create the brassy Juno sound that I'm looking for. And so that takes some time, right? To be able to hear, process, and execute at scale the same thing that you're hearing, right? It's going to take some time. Vocal, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So what I want to give you some tools on, right? I'm not going to take you from here to mix and mastering, right? That's like too far. And I don't want, did that just get brighter again? This light might be busted. Or maybe my brain is playing tricks on me, but I swear the light is getting darker and quieter. No, and it just got darker again. Darker and quieter. What am I talking about? It's freaking me out. Okay, it's not really. It's just weird. I'm like, oh God, I don't want to have to. I have like 3 more of these lights. I'll just have to put. Yeah, it got bright and then it got dark again. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's not getting enough power from the power strip that it's in or something like that. Oh yeah, it's bright again. In the world, dude. I don't need any help in the bright department here. Okay, I'm gonna try to get through this. We're gonna get off in like 10 minutes. Okay, so that's what I want to do is I just want to bridge the gap for you, right? Here's kind of what you're looking for. And here's where you're at right now. How do we get there, right? So let's run it from the top. Let's just chop through a couple things. I don't want to overwhelm you at all. I just want to give you a couple things to like train your ears and to listen for, so you can, when you're choosing sounds, you're choosing loops on GarageBand, you're choosing, sounds off Splice or whatever it may be, or you're like playing with your MIDI controller, a piano line, that you kind of know what to look for, right? And what you want to address. All right. Okay, perfect. That's great. All right, this is it's an easy C major progression. A minor, G major, F major, right? Simple progression right there. So a couple things that I'll look for here is a balance between dry and wet. And what I mean by dry and wet is it has ambiance and processing, reverbs and delays, typically speaking, but modulation, reverbs, delays, versus it is a dry signal, right? So a dry signal has nothing on it, maybe just EQ and compression, but it's got no ambiance on it whatsoever, right? And a balance between that and a wet signal, which is gonna have a bunch of reverb and delays and stuff like that, right? So like even in this case, right, you have all of your elements are pretty dry. You have a pad, the pad's doing some stuff in the background. Talk about the chord in a second. But the difference in that piano, right? Where it's at, which right now, let me bring up actually, I forgot. I almost forgot I can do this. Sometimes I forget what we're doing here. Oh no, hold on. Give me a sec. I got to bring back my camera. What's up, Andrew? Welcome in, man. Good to see you. Boom, and we're back. Beautiful. Okay, so like just for an example, right? I can have like a really dry signal here. Right? And there's not a lot on it. That's dry, right? Versus totally different vibe, right? Totally different feel, totally different vibe, right? And there's a reason why you should have one or the other in different spaces, right? In different songs and different formats, right? In this context, when you're going for atmosphere, one of the things that you need to do is set your signal into space. If it's too dry and direct, it's going to feel close, right? Like the opposite of atmosphere. If atmosphere is out here, if atmosphere is everything out here, then dry is right here on the nose, right in front of you. You know what I mean? It is clear as day, fully in focus, right? So if this is dry, this piano is right in front of you, it's fully in focus. Versus, I turn this mix up to 100. It is set in space. Now it's atmospheric, right? You know, to use the cliches of it, right? Now it's atmospheric. Now it's everywhere. The same thing goes for a lot of the other elements here. Of course, I got you. And if you have other questions, please drop them in there. And I can try to explain it in a different way if needed as well. But that's all. And that's just the mix knob right here. The same is going to go for. I'm gonna keep this. Well, I'll keep this on here. I'm gonna add a delay. And again, all of this you can do in GarageBand. Now, this is a $50 plugin or $100 plugin or whatever it is. Like you can do all this with stock stuff, with free stuff, with Logic plugins. If you get that GarageBand, it's the same tools, right? It's a reverb set at a certain length, you know, process however it is, and mixed however it is. Fully mixed is going to be all the way wet. All the way zero is going to be dry, right? Same with the delays, right? So you can do this with anything. One of my favorite delays that I use a lot is H delay, just because it's really versatile and I feel like the filter is really nice. So here's a delay right here, and I like that I can show all this on TikTok now too. It's nice. So here's a delay, right? There's your delay, right? Now on the delay side, right, here's fully dry, and I'll just bypass both of these, right? I'll bypass both of these. There's our dry signal, right? Now if I turn both of these on, I'm gonna turn up the wet here. I'm gonna bring this high. I do like Supermassive. I use Supermassive for synths all the time. Here's wet. Right? It's a completely different experience of piano. It feels so much more. Of course, Andrew. Yeah, I got you, man. I got you. Yeah, I still have it on the list. This is a completely different experience of piano, right? That's a completely different experience than where you're at now, which would be more same line. Nothing wrong with this. A good sounding piano. There's nothing wrong with that. Completely different experience of the piano because we've now set it into space, right? So what I want you to focus on when you're building out your production is with all of the different now, and this is where restraint and skills and your ear as a now producer, you're a producer now. Your skills as a producer just take time to develop. Your ear for it takes time to develop. Because if I just do this, and I put that on the dulcimer in the background, I put it on the bass, I put it on the drums. I'm like, look, we're in space. This is super atmospheric. It's going to sound muddy. It's going to sound crazy. It's going to sound just noisy and delays popping up everywhere, and just noisy, right? So this is where like taste comes in. I might have a bass underneath that's really clean and clear, just like a sub bass with a chorus, a stereo chorus, and that's it, right? It's a sub bass with a stereo chorus, and over the top of it, though, I have same progression you had earlier, right? But underneath, you have like a really heavy bass underneath it and then percussion over the top, right? But I might want the bass to be like dry, right? I might want it to be like pointed, come right down the middle and feel close so that it hits you in the chest. If it's too far away and too way out here and wide, then it's going to feel kind of chaotic, right? That's where it's going to sound like kind of muddy and stuff like that. But right here in the middle, I might want that to be a little bit closer, a little bit more intimate. I want it to hit you in the chest. And then I want all this space on the outside. How do you get a bass that sits tight in the mix? I think it's just tasteful. I mean, it really depends on the song. It depends on what bass and what context. But I think tasteful use of EQ and compression to make sure that it can fit within the structure of the beat in the production. I typically don't sidechain a lot unless I need to sidechain for stylistic reasons. Like if I'm working on a house record or like a lo-fi beat or a hip hop beat, there might be a necessity to sidechain based on the way the 808 coexists with the kick drum and stuff like that. But most often than not, I just choose a kick drum and a bass that works well together and try to fit them into the same structure. I think tasteful mid-side processing, compression and stuff like that, I think is just the easiest way. And then just making sure there's space for elements. Most of the reasons where I find that I'm having an issue with a bass sitting in a mix or sitting in a production is because there's not room for it. And so I'm either forcing it over the mix or I'm forcing other things over the mix because the bass is like too hot and it's just too crazy around like 60 hertz and it's like muddy and wild and insane. So I think it really just comes down to like creating space for everything that you want in the mix to coexist in the mix. And if you can't do that, you probably just need to change your sound to something that can. But yeah, hopefully that's quick little pointed. As long as you do well, we're gonna. Hey, let's go, Jimmy. I love it, dude. I love it. I'm so proud of you, man. Thank you for letting us know as well. Y'all go check out his music he's been working on. It's coming out soon, man. Just another week or so. Yeah, of course. It really depends on the sound and the texture and what it is doing, right? Is this a sub bass and medium record? Is it a finger bass and like a McGee style record that's super distorted? Is it whatever it may be? It could be anything. So talking about ambiance, I'm excited, Katie. I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm excited. All right, so space now. It's sound design choice, right? So again, I don't want to put too much on your plate. I have to hop off here pretty soon too. I don't want to put too much on there. So one is just the ambiance, right? Is like if you want things to sound like they're in space. What's up, Tragedy? Welcome in. If you want them to sound like they're in space, you need to set them in space. That's where your reverbs and delays and modulation and stuff are going to come into play. It's taking a dry signal and creating some space around it, some ambiance around it, so it does sound atmospheric. The same goes for vocals, right? Like if I go in here and I throw this, what do I? Ooh, reverb. Yeah. See all that? So now let me, like if I go in here, just to do this. Crazy. This is why. Reverb. Okay, hold on. Let me give you an example. I'm going to filter this out. I know that sounds crazy. Wet. Don't clip that. Versus dry. The difference, right? So even when it comes to you, like, building out your vocal structure, right? When it comes to you, like building out, like, okay, I want to write over the song now. I want to build structure of it. The difference between, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, it's like fine. And this is crazy. I'm doing this in the most exaggerated way possible, so it makes the most sense. The difference between that and that's a completely different experience of the vocal, right? And so this is kind of the first thing I want you to dive into is like choosing sounds that you like, right? Making sure that, like, the piano that you're choosing, you can go into the settings of the piano, even in GarageBand, and like change it from a grand to an upright and like filter it down a little bit. You can adjust some of the settings to make it a little bit more in line with what you want it to be. And then you can start to process it and set it into space with reverbs. It's not going to be perfect. It's going to take time, right? It's going to take time for you to really like grasp and know when to do the things that you want to do, right? But you can start to set it into space and add some processing and get creative with it. And do this with all of the different elements, right? Some elements you might want the piano super wet in this case, like this, or you might do it another time where you have the piano super dry, but then there's a synth that auto pans over the top and it's super sparkly and shimmery and it's got all of this extra, play at the top of the mix. Same with the bass. Like the bass might be really tight in this record, but the drums are echoey and big and gated or something like that. How to play with the sound of an instrument. I don't think I've seen those. Yeah. Let me see. So basically what you'll do, let me take this. I don't need all this on the vocal right now. Let's not do that. So basically you're going to see stuff like this, right? This is a loose example, right? So this is a pretty simple plugin. Right? It's super wet again. So let's bring it down to like my normal. I usually have it at like 15. So right here, this is what like the piano plugin that I'm using right now. This is one from Universal Audio, I think. Yeah, Universal Audio. So right here, this is what it sounds like. But I can go into like some of these settings. This one doesn't have a ton, but I can change the settings right here. Right here, you can see close versus room. This is gonna like set if I want to set it in space, like you can see it right here. And you'll literally see it shift to the room mics. Close, direct, room. Sounds like you're standing, especially on the other platforms. It's not as good. The compression on TikTok kind of sucks, but you'll hear it sounds like you're like 15 feet away from it now. Right? And then I can change tone, right? I can go bright. Now I sound like a 90s pop song. Right? It sounds crazy. Or what I typically like is a little bit warmer. So I bring the tone all the way down here. A little bit darker, a little bit moodier and warmer, right? So those are the kinds of settings that you're going to want to get into in your own piano. It's going to be different piano to piano. I've got 20 different piano plugins. They all do something a little bit differently. And so that's what I want you to look into, right? And start learning tonal qualities, learning setting into space, and then percussion choices, right? Last thing that I'll say, and then I got to get out of here. Last thing that I'll say is the percussion choices that you have right now. I know, right, Libby? The percussion choices that you're making right now, which I do, random plug. I try not to like plug too much. I just should, I guess. But random plug. I do offline consultations all the time. So if you ever want to, like, these are like 30 minutes long. If you ever want to book an hour, 2 hours, I did like 4 hours a couple of weeks ago with an artist over 3 days. We did like 3 or 4 hours of like collaborative writing and building up production structure for their songs. If you ever want to book offline, that's always an option as well. I know these can be a little bit, they're pretty distinct and they're pretty, compartmentalized, and you can't talk back, which is always, that's fun. But if you ever want a full offline, then these are just, consolidated versions of that. But the last thing that I'll say, and let me move back over here, is that if you are, shoot me a message on either TikTok or Instagram is fine. IG is fine. IG is probably the one I'm most likely to get to faster, just because, messages on TikTok and notifications on TikTok, once I've been live for 3 or 4 hours, they just get kind of crazy and they don't organize it the best. So IG is usually pretty good. I'll try to get back with you like within a day or so. And it's just sound design choices, right? So last thing I'll say is right now, at this point now. But I still did get through like 7 songs today. I got through 7 songs today, which is great. I'm very proud of that. And 7 songs in 3 hours is not too bad. That is less than 30 minutes. 7 songs in 3 hours is less than 30 minutes. So I'm doing fabulous. I'm doing fantastic, actually. I'm so proud. I'm so proud. My brain's fried. Okay. Last thing. You're choosing percussion structure that's very acoustic, right? So like last thing I'll say here, when you hear this, that's very much like a live, dry acoustic drum, right? It's very, very dry, and it's very much like a live acoustic guitar from like a contemporary setting, right? I feel like what you want more there is more digital drums, probably sequenced, programmed drums that give you a little bit more weight and give you a little bit more impact. You hear how that's going to it's a very like thin, very pointed, very dry. There's not a lot of energy behind it. You can shift that to something that's like programmed, it's more digital, that's going to have a little bit more impact in the mix. And then you can mess around with processing it, right? Like saturating it, distorting it, compressing it to make it drive a little bit more and punch a little bit more, right? Choosing the right sound as the source is probably the most important part of building your production structure. And then what you do with it is your processing after, right? So that's a couple of the things that I would just look at right there is like, the sound design that you actually choose is vital. What you do with that sound design is how you're going to accomplish the aesthetic that you want, right? If you want ambiance, you want alternative pop, you want it to be dark and moody and ethereal and all that, atmospheric, all the stuff we've been talking about, all the buzzwords we're talking about, then that's where like your processing of that sound that you chose matters a lot. Reverb, choruses, phasers, delays, stuff like that. And then actually, of course, just building out the rest of your production structure. I will be live, Bree Squared. I will be live maybe tomorrow. I'm pretty sure tomorrow. I'm not sure on the time. I've got a bunch of random little things I got to get done tomorrow. So it's typically afternoon Central Time. Just whenever I'm done with my projects. But y'all show some love, man. Show some love to the family. That is called Mud in the Water so far. It's called Mud in the Water so far. But that's Nick. I was going to Nicole. I was going to call you Nicholas for a second. That's Nicole right here in the chat. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for being so vulnerable and sending this in. I know that it's an early record for you. Like you mentioned before, not many people have heard this at all. It's a very is a kind of a scary thing to do, especially by call Nicholas. My brain is not working, and I'm like looking at thanks. I'm like they said thanks, and I was saying Nicole, so I was going to say I don't know. My brain's like combining words, and it's a mess. It's not good. But anyways, I appreciate you so much for being vulnerable and sending that in. There is definitely potential. There's definitely potential there. You should absolutely pursue it. I'm excited to hear, you said you writing too, so I'm excited to hear more of like your voice and how you build that out. production structure is going to be the foundation. But I appreciate you so much. You also some love to Nicole. That's going to call it for today. Quick spiel before I hop off. For those of you who don't know, my name is Torvik. I am a full-time audio engineer, producer, and session musician. That's what I do for a living. I've done that for 14 plus years. I'm also a classically trained pianist. If you are ever interested in booking any of those services, I don't really plug them during the live. I just do it here at the very end for those of you who are here, who would ever be interested. So if you ever need session work, so I do a lot of analog synthesis. I've got like 15 synths in here. I do a lot of analog synths, hardware synthesis. I've got live drums, acoustic, electric, and bass guitars, vocals, all the way across the board. If you're looking for a session player or vocalist, if you're looking for a producer, a mix and mastering engineer, that is what I do for a living. Shoot me a message on any platform. I would love to connect with you, talk about if it would be a good fit, foundationally, if it would be a good fit for what you're doing stylistically and creatively. And then after that, of course, budget and timeline, stuff like that. So I love and appreciate you about my synth. Well, I know it's about to get, hopefully soon. I'm selling a bunch of synths right now. Actually, I'm selling like 4 or 5 of them, because I want to get some different ones in here. So I'm always selling and trading stuff to like fund other purchases here in the studio. So I'm selling a bunch of synths right now that I do love and use, but there's some others that I really want to get. And then I'm going to put in a huge rack wall over here of like rack synths. So I'm still trying to figure out how to get what I need for those. But hopefully in the near future, y'all are going to see just a bunch of lights back here. I'm going to have like a 46U rack of just rack mounted synths. It's going to be glorious and it's going to be very fun. Yeah. Let me know if you want any. I've got 4 or 5 of them for sale right now. Okay. I love and appreciate y'all. Y'all have an amazing rest of your night. I know once I get everything finalized, because right now it's so in transition. I'm like trading a different one out every week to get the ones that I want. Once I get everything done in the studio, which it's been like 10 months that I've been in here and they're still not done. I'll do a studio tour. I'll do a synth studio, a synth tour, a guitar tour, whatever, stuff like that. Good night, y'all. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Y'all have an amazing rest of your evening. Peace.